Mataro TV.
Bwana Mungu, nashangaa kabisa nikifikiri jinsi ulivyo, nyota, ngurumo, vitu vyote pia viubavyo kwa uwezo wako. Roho yangu na ikuimbie jinsi wewe ulivyo mkuu. Roho yangu na ikuimbie jinsi wewe ulivyo mkuu. Nikitembea pote duniani, ndege huimba na wasikia, milima hupendeza macho sana, upepo nao unafurahia. Roho yangu na ikuimbie jinsi wewe ulivyo mkuu. Roho yangu na ikuimbie jinsi wewe ulivyo mkuu.
Basi asante sana Mtume Alexander John, de Mungu akubariki. Basi tunafurahia kwa kuwa nawe katika mitambo na zaidi kwa nyimbo zako ambazo ni tamu. Kumbuka hapa ni Mataro TV, mahali ambapo unapokelewa kwa mikono miwili na kwa moyo mkunjufu jameni. Basi siku njema ya leo, naamini ya kwamba Mungu amekukilimia uzima, amani imekuwa kwako, na basi hatuna budi ila tumwabudu na tumshukuru Mungu huyu ambaye hachoki nasi. Basi ni matumaini yangu ya kwamba umheli wa afya, na pia umekuwa ukigoja kwa hamu matangazo ama vipindi vya Mataro TV. Ila sasa nataka nikwambie usiwe na hofu. Basi tumerejelea mitamboni na tuko gagari, tuko tayari sana ili kuweza kujiendelesha katika hali na mafundisho ya siku. Na basi nataka nichukue nafasi hii kwa wote ambao mko katika WhatsApp group, niwaambie jameni, tuko sasa naendelea kugawa hiyo link na wengi ambao wako katika makundi ya WhatsApp groups. Wale ambao mko katika Facebook, nanyi pia tunaendelea kuwakaribisha, pia nanyi mwakaribisha wenzenu, marafiki, ndugu, kaka zenu wale. Waambieni jameni, wasibisha hodi, mlango uko wazi, na waendelee kujiunga ili tukatembee kwa pamoja katika ile safari. Basi wote ambao mko katika YouTube, pia nanyi endeleeni kuwajulisha wengi marafiki ya kwamba tupo na tayari sana tutaanza mafundisho ya siku, na najua ya kwamba mambo yatakuwa mazuri kwa kila mmoja wetu. Basi kumbuka wote ambao mko katika Twitter na Instagram na TikTok, pia nanyi pia endeleeni kugawa kwa wengi katika mitandao vile, na najua kwamba mtaendelea kubarikiwa nanyi. Kumbuka mkono ambao unanyoshwa jameni ni mkono ulio na baraka. Na basi hapa ni mahali ambapo tunaambiana moja kwa mwingine, usibisha hodi, mlango uko wazi, yako ni kuweza kuingia na kupakuliwa kile ambacho kimeandaliwa, kaandalika vizuri, na uendelee kukishiriki pamoja na wenzako. Basi katika nchi yetu tuipendayo, nataka nichukue nafasi ile kuweza kuwakaribisha pembe zote za nchi yetu ipendayo, nchi ya Kenya ile. Haya nchi ile jameni, tunasema haina bugdha, haina matata. Ile nchi ina mambo yake ya kipekee sana. Kama huielewi utapotelea ndani yake yale mambo, ila wanaoelewa na kuyazoelea yanayo yaliomo na ambayo ataendelea kuja, basi tunajua hali ya kujipanga sisi jameni, tuvuke mipaka. Wa Tanzania mpo, mlipo. Basi matumaini yangu ya kwamba ninyi majirani zetu mko salama salimin, na wote Waganda kule ng'ambo ile ingine nanyi pia mmekaribishwa kwa mikono miwili. Walio katika nchi ya South Sudan, Kongo kule bongo yao, basi nanyi mmekaribishwa mitamboni. Kwa moyo mkujufu na kwa mikono miwili jameni. Wa Rwanda, Burundi kule Emiriwe, najua ya kwamba mko starehe kule sehemu za Kanombe, Ruhengeri kule upande kule jameni, wa Goma kule, nanyi pia najua mjachwa nyuma, mko tayari sana kwa kipindi cha siku. Basi wote ambao mko katika bara letu Afrika, nanyi pia hatujawaacha nyuma jameni. Najua nyinyi mmeshabikia Mataro TV sana, na wengi ambao mko katika nchi za Warabuni kule pia mnatufuata vizuri. Tujumulike kwa pamoja jameni. Basi wote ambao mko katika nchi za ng'ambo, Amerikani, Uingereza, Jerumani kule India na kwinginepo jameni, nanyi pia hatujawaacha nyuma mitamboni, mmekaribishwa kwa mikono miwili. Basi siku jema ya leo nataka tuandamane hatua kwa hatua, tuyagange mawili matatu, na yajayo pia tutayaganga jameni. Usiwe na wasiwasi, mahali hapa ni tosha, ni mahali ambapo tunapunguza hasara na kuziongeza faida. Basi nataka nikupe nafasi kidogo ili ukapate kujiandaa vizuri, ujitafutie kalamu na kitabu jameni, mahali ambapo utaandika mawili matatu. Na ninajua ya kwamba katika haya na mambo yanayoendelea nyakati hizi, kuna lile ambalo utachipuka nalo, lile ambalo utajifundisha, na najua litaleta faida katika maisha yako. Basi turejee upande ule mwingine wa studio, tupashwe wimbo unaojigia mitamboni kwa njia taratibu kama hii. Asante sana dada yetu, Mungu aweze kukubariki sana kwa hivyo wako mtamu ule. Basi siku ya leo nina mada ambayo nataka tuiongee. Nayo mada ya siku ni gani? Ni hali ya kuishi nyakati ngumu hizi. Tutaishi namna gani katika hali ngumu hizi? Hapo ndipo tupo siku ya leo. Na nataka nitaje baadhi ya mambo hapa ambayo pengine mengine nitakuhuzunisha, mengine nitakukela, ila mwisho lazima tutafute njia ambayo itatusaidia kujiponya na hali na mambo haya. Ukubaliana nami ya kwamba nyakati zikiendelea kuwa gumu kama hizi, kuna watu watapoteza kazi, watu watafutwa kazi, tupende tusipende. Sababu kama biashara mahali ambapo ulikuwa umeajiliwa imeanza kushuka na imeanza kwenda chini, ile biashara haiwezi kunawili vizuri, basi itabidi mwenye biashara ile aweze kuwapunguza wafanyakazi. Ya pili, kuna watu watafunga mabiashara sababu hali za kale zile hazikubaliana na hali hizi ngumu. Kuna watu watafunga mabiashara. Upende usipende, na huo ndio ukweli ambao unauma. Kuna wengine jameni, njia mahali ambapo mapato mlikuwa mnayapata jameni, zile njia zitafunga, na ni ukweli ndio huo. Zile njia zingine, njia zile zitafunga. Na kuna wengine pengine ni wakulima. Sasa kiangazi ndicho hiki kimetugonga. Kuna sehemu miaka 5 hawajaona mvua. Kwa hivyo kama ulikuwa mkulima, basi biashara ukulima umefunga tayari. Wengine kama ulikuwa unafuga samaki na maji ndio hayo hamna tena, basi ile biashara ya samaki haimo. Watu ambao wanadili na mifugo, basi wale ambao wanafuga mifugo yao, pengine sasa sababu ya kiangazi mifugo itaendelea kufa na biashara za mifugo zitaendelea kufungwa jameni. Mambo haya ndio ukweli tulio nao. Basi pia bei ya maisha itaendelea kupanda, tupende tusipende. Na nataka niseme jambo hili halijaguza taifa moja. Watu wasije wakateta wakasema jamani taifa letu limevamiwa na hali na mambo haya. Ni dunia bwana inataabika, ni dunia sasa inaomboleza. Hali na mambo mengi imekwama na mambo mengi imetatizika. Kuna watu sasa pengine walikuwa nafanya biashara za transport, sasa bei imeenda juu ya mafuta, basi spare parts bei imeenda juu. Sasa kuna wengine watajiondoa kutoka uwanja wa biashara ya magari, wataondoka. Nataka niseme kwa ufupi, hali zitaendelea kuwa ngumu hizi. Na wakati ambapo hali zimeendelea kubadilika na kuwa ngumu, tutafanya namna gani? Nataka niseme na mtu ya kwamba mambo haya ni kawaida sana katika dunia hii. Mambo haya nasema tena ni kawaida sana katika dunia hii. Ukichimbua katika historia utakuta duniani mambo kama haya yanajirudia muda baada ya mwingine. Unaona kipindi cha miaka fulani, miaka kama 100, kunatukia jambo ngumu sana linatingiza ulimwengu wote. Na uendelee kufanya utafiti sana, utakuja kugundua ya kwamba dunia hii ina kipindi na ina wakati ambapo inagongwa na hali ngumu na watu wanatatizika na vifo vya watu vinashuhudiwa kila mahali. Ila katika nyakati kama zile, basi kungali kuna matumaini. Nataka niseme na hata kwa wote ambao pengine mnasikia siku yasema vizuri na sikutaja mambo ambayo nataka niyataje, nataka niwaambie hata kama mambo yako vile yalivyo, bado kuna tumaini. Na ndiposa unaona Mataro TV tumejibwaga uwanjani ili tuweze kukutia moyo, tuweze kukupa ushauri jinsi ambavyo unaweza kujimudu katika hali ngumu kama hizi, na jinsi ondoke ka hali ya kukata tamaa na uanze kuwa uanze kuwa na matumaini ndani yako, uya kwamba utaendelea na utavunjika moyo na mambo itakuwa sawa, hata kama ujui ni muda gani, ila uwe na tumaini ndani yako. Basi nataka sasa tuingie hatua kwa hatua, tuambiane ukweli. Nyakati ambapo ulimwengu umegongwa na matatizo kama haya, je, Mungu alimaliza dunia? Mungu hakumaliza dunia, ila aliwabakishia wanadamu dunia yao na akawabakishia maisha. Na katika hali ngumu kama hizi, kitu ya kwanza ambayo nataka tuangalie kwa upana ni kila mmoja wetu kuwa na akili iliyofunguka na akili ambayo iko tayari kubadilika. Mambo haya mawili usiwahi kuyasahau: akili iliyofunguka na akili ambayo iko tayari kukubali mabadiliko. Sababu wakati wowote ambapo dunia imegongwa na shida kubwa kama hizi, na watu wakakosa kufungua mawazo na wakakosa kuwa na mawazo iliyo tayari kubadilika, watu wengi sana huzimia, na katika hali ya kuzimia wengi wanaingia katika hali ya kushindwa, na wengine wanaingia katika hali ya magonjwa ambayo hayaponyi, na wengine wanashiriki kifo. Sasa wewe utakuwa pande gani? Wakati hali zimekuwa kama vile ambavyo zilivyo, basi utazimia, utaingia katika maradhi ambayo hayaponyi, utakata tamaa na maisha, utagojea kufa, ama utabadilika. Leo hii nataka tuongee habari ya kuwa na mawazo yaliyofunguka. Basi faida za kuwa na mawazo yaliyofunguka ni ipi? Mawazo iliyofunguka basi ina uwezo wa kukubali mambo mapya. Mawazo yaliyofunguka yana uwezo wa kuona zaidi ya kile ambacho kinatendeka kwa wakati huu. Mawazo iliyofunguka ina uwezo wa kukaribisha ushauri mpya katika mawazo yale. Mawazo yaliyofunguka yana uwezo wa kuingia kwa undani na kuchipua kigeni ambacho kiko katika yale mawazo. Kwa hivyo wakati wowote umeweka mawazo yako imefunguka, umeanza kukaribisha faida, na hali ngumu kama hizi hasina nafasi za kukushinda, bali una nafasi ya kuzishinda. Kumbuka wanasema kwa Kiingereza ya kwamba that necessity is the mother of invention. Wakati kuna shida kubwa, wakati ambapo kuna kuhitaji kubwa, mahali pale ndipo akili mpya zinaundwa, mahali pale ndipo ndoto mpya wanaziota, mahali pale ndipo maono mapya yanachipuka, mahali pale ndipo watu wanajua wana nguvu zingine ambazo za kawaida za kutumikishwa. Na kwa hivyo nataka niwatie moyo ninyi ambao biashara zenu zimeanguka, ninyi ambao mmefutwa kazi, ninyi ambao ni wakulima na sasa hamfanyi ukulima tena, ni hasara tupu, ninyi ambao mlikuwa pengine mnafuga samaki na maji hayamo tena, ninyi ambao mlikuwa katika kazi mbalimbali na siku ya leo hazifuidafu zile kazi, nataka niwaambie jameni, kungali kuna mlango ulio wazi mbele yako. Na basi nataka tukome kwa muda kidogo, kisha baadaye nitarejelea nikuonyeshe faida nyingi na mambo matamu yaliomo hata nyakati ngumu kama hizi. Basi turejee upande ule mwingine wa studio, tupokezwe wimbo unaoingia mitamboni kwa njia taratibu kama hii. Basi asante sana dada yetu kwa wimbo wako mtamu ule. Basi nataka kwanza tuseme mambo haya. Nataka tuyashiriki mambo haya kabla sijakulete kwa hatua hii ambayo nataka tuingie. Nataka ujue ya kwamba mdomo wako una uwezo wa kuharibu ama kujenga. Na ningetaka unaponifuatilia katika mitambo, wewe ambao umepoteza biashara, uanze kukanusha mambo haya. Useme ni biashara imeisha ila mimi nitaishi. Wewe ambao umefutwa kazi, nataka ukanushe mambo haya kwa kusema maneno haya: ni kazi nimefutwa ila maisha yangu lazima yaendelee. Wewe ambao umepoteza mifugo yako, unasema maneno haya: ni mifugo ambayo imepotea na imekufa ila mimi ningali niko hai na nitaendelesha maisha. Wewe ambao ulikuwa katika pengine biashara ya matatu na sasa umefilisika, anza kusema ni biashara ya matatu imefilisika ila mimi ningali nitaendelea na maisha na nitaendelea kufanya vizuri. Popote mahali ambapo umekuwa na pengine ukafika ukingoni, ukafika mwisho na nikana kwamba sasa hauna njia ya kutokezea kutoka pale, nataka nikwambie ulimi wako una miujiza ya ajabu ajabu. Anza kutangazia mambo yote ambayo sasa yameshindwa, uambie ni hayo mambo yameshindwa ila si wewe. Ni hiyo biashara imefungikana, ila si wewe. Ni mambo yale, ni misaada ile imefungika, ila si wewe. Na basi ukianza hapo sasa, naweza kukwambia tuvuke na wewe hatua ya pili. Sasa baada ya kukanusha mambo ambayo ilikuwa inakuumiza sana na ambayo ilikuwa imekujaza ndani yako stress na depression, sasa tuingie hatua ya pili na wewe. Anza kujua mambo haya. Mungu ambaye alikuwa amekujalia hiyo biashara ambayo sasa imeshindwa sababu ya hali ngumu hizi, hajamalizana nawe. Angali ana kitu kizuri cha kukudumisha wakati mgumu kama huu. Kwa hivyo anza kutangaza, najua Mungu aliyekuwa amenijalia ile biashara ambayo imeboromoka, ambayo imefungwa, sasa angali ana uwezo wa kunijalia kingine kipya. Mungu aliyekuwa amenijalia mifugo yote ambayo imekufa, ana uwezo wa kunijalia kingine kipya. Mungu aliyekuwa amenijalia Nissan barabarani na sasa siwezi biashara ya matatu tena, ana uwezo wa kunijalia kingine kipya. Mungu aliyekuwa amenijalia kazi mahali ambapo nilikuwa nimeajiriwa na sasa nimefutwa ile kazi, angali ana kingine kipya ambacho anataka nikiendeleshe katika hali na wakati mgumu huu. Be reminded, nimesema tena kwa Kiingereza, that necessity is the mother of invention. Na kwa hivyo usikubali kufa moyo. Wewe mama ambaye unanifuata na sasa mambo yako yamefika mwisho, yale ambayo ulikuwa unafanya kabla ya wakati mgumu huu, basi yahame yale na uanze kuyaganga yaliyomo. Sasa sikia vizuri, katika hali ngumu hizi kuna kitu ambacho Mungu ameachilia kwa sababu yako. Kuna kitu ambacho Mungu ataachilia kwa sababu yako, kwa sababu ya watoto wako, kwa sababu ya familia yako. Nataka niwaambie mambo haya ambayo tunayaona ni mageni sana, na si mara ya kwanza. Dunia historia hujirudia, na mambo kama haya yamepata vizazi wengine. Sasa ni wakati wetu jameni, tutayumbayumbishwa, ila lazima tujue hali ya kujimudu katika hali na mambo kama haya. Kwa hivyo sasa hatua ya pili tumesema, baada ya kukanusha, uanze kuamini ya kwamba Mungu angali ana jambo jipya, lile ambalo litakuwezesha kuinuka mahali ambapo umeshindwa, lile ambalo litakuwezesha kufaulu katika mahali ambapo unaona hauwezi. Mungu angali ana jambo jipya. Ni vile tu shetani hataki ujue hayo, ni vile tu udhaifu wa mwili hautaki uyajue hayo, lakini ukweli wa mambo ni eti pengine sasa ukianza kufuatilia mafundisho haya na uanze kuona kwa njia ya mawazo yaliyofunguka jameni, na ukubali hali ndivyo ilivyo, ila wewe ungali una uwezo wa kushinda. Nataka nikwambie, pengine kile ambacho Mungu atakujulisha ufanye sasa, ama kile ambacho kitakuja kwa akili zako, ni kizuri kuliko kile ambacho umefanya miaka 20. Kwa hivyo usiwe na wakati wa kukata tamaa, usiwe na wakati wa kufa moyo, usiwe na wakati wa kuachilia maradhi na magonjwa. Anza kusema, Mungu aliyenifanyia yale ambayo amenifanyia miaka ambayo imeisha, basi Mungu huyu hajapungukiwa, ataniwezesha na hata hapa mbele. Tuje hatua ya tatu. Sasa hata kama nimesema mambo haya yote, kuna mambo ambayo tunasema ni kisungumkuti kile. Basi sikia, kuna mambo yanaonekana magumu sana, ingawaji unaona ukweli, lakini huna namna ya kukubali ukweli. Sasa sikia vizuri, mawazo yako tumesema uyaandae yawe tayari kubadilika, sababu watu wengi sio eti hawana njia ya kujiponya, hawana njia ya kujimdu, ila mawazo yao yanakataa kubadilika. Mtu anasema mnajua mimi nilikuwa na magari barabarani. Hiyo ni historia. Sasa unatuambia hataki kusikia historia. Tunataka mawazo ambayo iko tayari kubadilika. Mnajua nilikuwa na mifuko 500 ikaisha. Hiyo ni historia. Unatuambia na historia haijengi hapa. Basi kubali mambo yalitendeka vile ambavyo yalitendeka, ila sasa kubali kubadilisha mawazo. Unajua nilikuwa nimeajiliwa kazi mzuri sana. Ndiyo, hiyo ni ngano. Hizo ni ngano. Unatuambia hazina faida sasa. Haziwezi kuleta chakula kwa meza zile ngano. Sasa akubali mawazo yako yakubalie mabadiliko. Unajua yote tunajua na tunaelewa, sababu bado tuko duniani, lakini tunaongea jambo hili. Kila yoyote yule ambaye ataibuka hapa katika hali ya kufaulu, lazima awe na mawazo yaliyo tayari sasa kubadilika, sababu tumesema kisungu mkuti hakiko kwinginepo kule nje, kiko katika mawazo yetu. Wacha sasa mawazo yako yaanze kukubali mabadiliko, sababu mawazo yatakaposhindwa na kukubali mabadiliko utakufa. Mawazo itakaposhindwa kukubali mabadiliko utagonjeka. Mawazo itakapokosa kukubali mabadiliko utakata tamaa na maisha. Mawazo itakapokosa kukubali mabadiliko utakuwa na vita ambavyo havina maana. Sasa tuko hapa tuelezane ukweli Mataro TV ya kwamba kama ulikuwa una kazi ya ofisi, umeajiriwa na sasa imeisha, usibaki kubisha hodi ile ofisi kila wakati. Kubalia mawazo ibadilike. Kama ulikuwa umeanzisha biashara ikaanguka, usishinde mahali pale kupoteza na kumwaga pesa mahali unajua haziwezi kuinua ile biashara. Badilisha mawazo. You have you have so many other ideas ambazo Mungu ameachilia katika mawazo yako. Ni vile tu mawazo yako imekataa kubadilika. Hasara kubwa ambayo dunia inaweza kupitia ni wakati mawazo ya watu imekataa kubadilika, na faida kubwa ambayo dunia inaweza kuipata ni wakati mawazo ya watu imekubali mabadiliko. Na kwa hivyo tuko mitamboni Mataro TV tuelezane ukweli huu, ingawaji wa umma ni ukweli uponyao. Basi tuelezane ukweli. Mama wewe, mzee wewe, kijana wewe, binti wewe, kubalia mawazo yaka. Mawazo ya kubadilika ukipatana nayo umepatana na maisha. Mawazo ya kubadilika ukipatana nayo hali zako zitabadilika. Mawazo ya kubadilika ukipatana nayo milango mipya itafunguka. Mawazo ya kubadilika ukipatana nayo heshima utaipata. Na basi
maishani mwangu shukrani ni kwako, kwa kuwa wewe ndiwe unatosha.
Asante sana dada yetu Saadi. Mungu akubariki sana. Basi tuje hapa, tumesema mawazo yakikubali kubadilika, kuna milango mipya itafunguka mbele yako. Kuna faida mpya ambazo zitazaliwa katika maisha yako. Kuna marafiki wapya ambao watakuja maishani mwako. Kuna watu mashuhuri ambao pengine mtakutana na wao. Basi mawazo yakikubali kubadilika inakuinua kiwango kingine kipya. Hapa ndio uhondo uliopo jameni. Mawazo wakati wowote imekubali kubadilika, heshima za jana hazikutishi tena, unainuliwa katika heshima mpya. Utajiri wa jana haukutishi tena, unainuliwa kiwango kingine cha utajiri. Mawazo inapokubali kubadilika, marafiki wa jana wanakuwa wengine marafiki wapya wa leo. Mawazo ikikubali kubadilika, inakuzalia na hata marafiki wapya, inakuzalia maono mapya, inakuzalia ndoto mpya, inakuzalia mazuri mapya. Na ndiposa na wahimiza wote wapenda wa Mataro na wote ambao mnatufuatilia, usikubali kung'ang'ania kile ambacho hakina faida. Kubali mawazo yako yabadilike, yaone mapya ambayo haujayajua. Na basi hapa pia nataka tuelezane ukweli. Basi wakati ambapo mawazo imeanza kukubali kubadilika, usianze na hatua kubwa, utaangamia bure. Anza kwa hatua ndogo, na ukishinda kwa hatua ndogo, basi jameni, usitosheke kushinda kwa hatua ndogo. Enda sasa hatua ya pili. Ukishinda hatua ya pili, usitosheke na hatua ya pili, endelea kupanda katika hatua na viwango mbalimbali. Usikubali kutosheleka kwa mambo madogo, na usikubali kutosheleka sababu ya ushindi wa siku moja. Endelea sasa, anza hatua ya kwanza, enda hatua ya pili, enda hatua ya tatu, kama vile ambavyo Mungu atakuwezesha. Na kwa hivyo nataka nikwambie, unaweza pia kufunguka mawazo na kuwa na wakati na mawazo ya kubadilika, ila ukibadilika mawazo utosheke na madogo. Nataka nikwambie, kama mawazo yako imekubali kubadilika sasa, usije ukatosheka na madogo. Anza kuwa na maono makubwa, anza kuwa na ndoto kubwa, na usikubali kuanza hatua kubwa. Anza hatua ndogo, ukiendelea kujikuza katika hatua kubwa zilizo mbele. Hatari moja ambao unaweza kushiriki ndiyo hii, ni kuweza kung'atuka wakati ambapo umepokea ushindi, na ushindi ambao si ushindi mkubwa. Unang'atuka tu sababu umepata ushindi wa siku 2-3. Hiyo ni hatari kubwa. Hata kama utapata ushindi na utafanikiwa, usikome hapo. Bado kuna mengine mapya na makubwa ya ajabu ambayo hujayaona. Na kwa hivyo tunaambiana ukweli, lazima tuhimizane na tutiane moyo na tuambiane, jameni, hatufi, tutaendelea, tutaishi. Kwa hivyo popote ulipo, na wewe ambao ulikuwa unanitegea, jameni, unisikie, kuwa na mawazo yaliyofunguka. Jambo la pili, uwe na mawazo ambayo yatakubali mabadiliko, mawazo ya kubadilika. Jambo la tatu, usije ukatosheka ukaanza kwa hatua kubwa, anza kwa hatua ndogo. Na ukishinda kwa hiyo hatua ndogo, usikolee hapo, enda mbele, jisongeshe mbele katika hali ya kushinda mpaka uone kufaulu. Basi mambo hayo usije ukayasahau, uyashikilie vizuri. Nitaendelea kukutunza vizuri kwa ushauri, nitaendelea kukupa mawaidha, ili wote tuweze kujumulika kwa pamoja katika hali ya kung'ang'ana na kung'ang'ania mambo mazuri yaliyo duniani hapa. Na nimesema mambo haya yamekuba dunia nyakati ambazo zimepita, na yataendelea kuonekana. Kizazi chetu sasa, sisi ni wakati wetu sasa, ili tupambane na hali hizi ambazo zimekuba dunia yote. Na sasa nataka nikwambie, katika hali hizi, jameni, nimekwambia taratibu na njia mwafaka ambao utaweza kuifuata ili ukaweze kujiponya na hali hizi. Ila sio vile, jameni, unaweza kuangamia hapa, na ni wengi wataangamia hapa. Lakini sababu Mataro TV tuko pamoja, tuko sababu yako. Hatuwezi kukubali uangamie. Tutang'ang'ana, tutang'ang'ania, tutapigana vita, tutaleta ushauri wa kila siku hadi kila mmoja wetu atiwe moyo na kuweza kuendelea. Basi nataka nisiwashibishe sana, tusije tukatapika. Nataka nionyeshe hatua kwa hatua, na najua ya kwamba mwisho tutapata kufaulu. Na basi turejee upande ule mwingine wa studio, tupokezwe wimbo unaoingia mitamboni kwa njia taratibu kama hii.
nikitogeka tũteithie gwĩkaga ta wendi waku we Ngai nĩtwarega gwĩkaga maũndũ mũgarũ nawe tũgĩciria tũkĩaria nikitogeka tũteithie gwĩkaga ta wendi waku we ũrĩa wahũthĩrire ndungata yaku Musa nĩwarũĩrĩire Isiraeli ndwarorire ũthũ na wonje wake ona ithuĩ tũthĩre nĩtwagũthaitha Ngai Ngai nĩtwarega gwĩkaga maũndũ mũgarũ nawe tũgĩciria tũkĩaria nikitũgĩka tũteithie gwĩkaga ta wendi waku we Ngai
Yesu tuondolee taabu na kusumbuka Yesu tuondolee tuko mbele zako Yesu tukiomba haleluya wewe unaweza tuliovunjika moyo kwa mambo tunayapitia yakawa twaja kwako Yesu tuliovunjika moyo kwa mambo tunayapitia yakawa magumu mno twaja kwako Yesu taabu na kusumbuka Yesu tuondolee taabu na kusumbuka Yesu tuondolee mbele zako Yesu tukiomba haleluya wewe unaweza tuliopondeka moyo kwa taabu na masumbuko twajua kwa roho zetu Yesu ndiye msaada.
Thank you muno mtume Alexander Jonde niondo wa wira mwega ucio raruta wa kuina nyimbo cia goro Ngai agikurathime muno rekenjo mweke ucio ngwire o ringi ni twacokereria Mataro TV nigetha tutwarane ikinya gwa ikinya tukirungaga meri matatu maria ni megututeithia guthondeka miturire itu etwike miega gukira uria irari hau kavere ninge gakuririkania ati no thiini wa Mataro TV haria ni urehagirwo irio itari ndoro cumbe irio irugitwo na murugire mukinyaneru mwega na uhoro uria wa mani ati we haku no kuihurirwo na guthie na na mbere kuria irio ici njega nindiretikia ati kuna thiini wa Mataro TV ni uthiete ukigunikaga muno na ni uthiete ugiakagwo na mwako murumu utakwenyenyeka na ngakihoka ati ni wikaritio wega ni Ngai matha make ni maikarite iguru riaku ririkana thiini wa Mataro TV noho tu haiki haria urutagwo uhoro wa kunyihia hathara na kuongera faida na haria unyitagwo geni na moko meri na ngoro ya hingukite ihuritwo ni wendo na ngakihokate aria maratunyitanga kuria ngenda-ine cia mithembe tiganite ati muti kuria irio ici mukigaithagia cio angiarata na andu hakuhi aria mwendaine na aria musheaga nao linki tiganite ngakihoka ati aria mwithiini wa Facebook ni muguthie na mbere mukimenyithagia arata anyu ati twi thiini wa Facebook ona kuo aria me thiini wa YouTube menyithiai arata anyu ati twi thiini wa YouTube aria me thiini wa Instagram na Twitter ona kuo nimenyithaniai mundu no riongi ati nitukinyete kuo aria me thiini wa TikTok onao matigatigwo na thutha ni undu horo ni mwega uyu wi thiini wa Mataro TV nange hokate aria riu me thiini wa ituri ciothe cia thi haria hothe mugambo ucio raiguikana haria uthiomi ruu ruramenyeka ati ni uikara ukenete ni maundu maria werekeire kuigua na kumenya na ni tondu ni njui ati riu ni wihaririirie nigetha twambanirie nawe ningwiraga o muthenya ati ndukanetikire kuigua uhoro uyu na matu maiki ethaga karamu na ibuku handu ngiandika nigetha ukandika maundu meri matatu maria ni mangiguteithia riria ureririkania maundu maria wiguite thiini wa Mataro TV na ni undu ucio riu ningwenda tucoke mwena uria ungi wa mitambo nigetha tuheo rwimbo rumwe na hau tukiheagwo rwimbo rumwe nawe ukorwo wehariria na wandiriria andu acio angi no kimamenyithagia ati Mataro TV wira ni wambiriirie na wira ni uthiete na mbere wega umuthi mwega turathie kwari uhoro wa mwana wa kairitu ni undu onake ni mutiganirie na njira itiganite na ni ngwenda ndimwarie kuma ahoro-ini wigie baba ni undu nionjarie maundu maingi no muthi ndenda njarie mwana wa kairitu na baba na nindirehoka ati aria othe atumia maringa minira igwo airetu nao ni marakena ona twana tunini twa tuiretu ona tuo no tuguthie na mbere tukirathimagwo na koguo thikiriria rwimbo ruraingira mitambo-ini na njira nyoroku teno.
Todo tuito kobo ne menya Adege torutera muruwe wa mumoto wanokie Ule wade wa muburaga koro kumage kuine Eno tuito adhamaki hamwe na muonokia Eno tuito adhamaki hamwe na muonokia Tule adhamaki tuishe na shekera nero Tule rule akaya tule irakona Tule adhamaki tuishe na shekera nero Rero liangaya tulira kona Nire toane na ngomodana penya gitolera Gikutwa twireirwa gitokwera totore mwoyo Konyorulio na gosabio sidejesa gitokuwera Elia gitomanya tokanire akiuga monene mathira Niwe do munene uliangaya twendete naguo Niwe do munene uliangaya twendete naguo Ulia dhamaki Tushena shekera nero Rero liangaya tulira kona Ulia dhamaki Tushena shekera nero Rero liangaya tulira kona.
Thank you muno Marianne ni undu wa rwimbo rwaku rwega Ngai agikurathime Umuthi twerana ati turaririria uhoro wa mwana wa kairetu niondu nitukoretwo tukiaria uhoro wa mwana wa kahi na nitwaritie maundu maingi muno megie mwana wa kahi na nikuiguikite andu makiaria na hau na haria na ninginyeirwo ni riboti itiganite ati mwana wa kairetu ni arecokia no ningwenda ngwire ati oko ni kuri muthenya mwega na muthenya ukiaga wega ni muthenya ta wa umuthi ni tondu mwana wa kairetu ti mutige na nja. Mwana wa kairetu ni ekwaria uhoro wake na ninguhoya matu maku we uthikiriirie nawe uratuma thutha mitambo-ini ya Mataro TV. Ririkana inyue mwena wa Tanzania na nimuraigwa ruthiomi ruru nituramubatara muno mitambo-ini ara mwena wa Uganda na nimuraigwa ruthiomi ruru tutirienda kumutigana nja. Amafururi mothe ma East Africa na mafururi maria mangi haria ruthiomi ruru ramenyekana rukaiguikana njira njega. Twi haha riu ni undu wa mwana wa kairetu na ngajiriria na kuga ciugo ici. Kiugo giki tukoretwo tukiaria uhoro wakio kiati mundurume ni mutongoria ni ngwenda njuge ati ni kiarie gukira uria andu mangiciria tondu mutongoria ndatongoragia o andu a muhiriga umwe ni atongoragia muhiriga wa Ibrahimu na agatongoria muhiriga wa Sera. Na riu koguo ri haha riu nitukwenda tumuone mwana wa kairetu na baba guthiaga atia na nigetha tuhote kuma ikinya rimwe tugithiaga riria ringi. Undu wa mbere uria andu aingi matoi no uria kwagie ni kumenyithanio ni atiriri ati baba ni aplayaga party nene muno he mwana wa muiretu no ni kugiaga na notion ati mwana wa muiretu ni wa nyina. No ndira ndimwire muthenya wa umuthi oko ni hari mundu wendekaga muno uhoro-ini wa ukuria na ureri wa mwana wa muiretu ni baba. Na ni wega muno maitu aria othe mareraga ciana cia tuhina cia tuiretu ngufia ni tumurutire na mutingi unwa muti ni wira wa bata murutaga no gutwikaga cia thua ndongoria itingikinyira nyeki. Riu haha twagiuka tugakiuga atiriri okorwo ni kuri mundu wa bata muno muturire-ini wa mwana wa muiretu ni baba. Niki ni tondu ni baba uteithagia mwana wa muiretu ahote kwimenya thiini wa identity yake kana kugia na uhoro wa kwimenya ta mwana wa kairetu. Na riria riothe baba ehereire uhoro ucio wa ureri wa mwana wa muiretu na gukuria mwana wa muiretu maundu maingi muno ni marionekaga na maundu maingi muno ni marehitanaga na kaingi andu ni moragia maundu maya madu ahuro mwe kwendana ni wa maimagaku. Maundu macio kaingi muno maimaga riria mwana wa kahi kana wa kairetu aga kuheo identity ni ithe kana aga kuheo uhoro wa kwimenya ni ithe. Ugagikora mwana wa muiretu ni aretha mundu wa huro mwe nake na akaiguaga iganĩire magithie na njira iyo kana mwana wa kahi nake agetha mundu wa huro mwe nake na magithie na mbere. Uguo ni kuga lesbianism and gayism maundu macio magakikorwo kuo hihi ni undu wa umoshu kana ni undu wa kwa gukorwo ho kwa baba. Na undu uria wa magegania ni ngwenda andu aingi mamenye ni ati oko ni kuri a strong bond oko ni kuri kugwatana kuritu gukoragwo ho ni kwa mwana wa kahi ni kwa mwana wa kairetu na ithe. Mwana wa muiretu ni akoragwo enyitite ngoro ya ithe handu anene muno na ithe angiaga kumenya uguo amweherere mwana ucio ni aiguaga athinikanitio muno. Na koguo twi haha mitambo-ini nigetha tucokererie kana gaka gakairetu gatige kuigua gataruke ne muturire no kamberie kuigua ati onako ni karirikane na koguo ndenda twaranirie ciugo ici kinya gwa ikinya nigetha o mundu wothe akeoyagira kiria gigiake na agathie na mbere ya githondeka muturire wake na njira iria yagiriire na ni tondu ni njui no murehariria na no murathie mukijoinaga na ni tondu ndikwenda tutige mundu ona umwenja ni ngwenda ngirikie na kuga ati mwana wa muiritu ni oragwo ni hinya muno riria riothe baba ataramukuhiriria na riria riothe baba ataramuhe kiande gia kuririra na riria riothe baba amwehereire arwage mbara cia muturire ari wiki mwana ucio ni aiguaga muthirire muno ni muturire na koguo twambe tucoke mwena uria ungi nigetha tuheo rwimbo na njira nguhi na njoke oringi ngugukinyukithie kuma hau tuthiete na mbere rwimbo ruraingira mitambo-ini na njira nyoroku teno. Thank you muno ni undu wa rwimbo rwaku rwega Ngai agikurathime muno na gwike maundu ma utugi ndenda kwambiria na kuheana ngerekano ino tondu ninyendaga kwaria maundu maria mena wira mukinyaniru na wira mwega ati maundu ma ndiramaria na uhoro wa umenyo no tauku wamo ni undu ni maundu ndina experience yamo na nigwenda kuga ndina ciana cia iritu na okorwo ni kuri muthenya wana ndituhira riria ndana kode na thabari ni riria muiritu wakwa amenya papa amenya ni ngumagara ndana kode na thina muingi muno tondu riria amenya ni ndabanga ni ithanduku ni ria bangwo tondu ni gugithie hitha pari mweno kana uri ungi mwana ucio akanyitwo ni ihoru inene muno na kaingia na njikira kieha ngathie thabari ngoro yakwa inamite tondu wa maithori maria mwana ucio ekurira na ngeuria ciuria atiriri mwana uyu ongikorwo niguo atari ri eingikorwo ndikirugamaga nake ri eingemweherera ri angithinikana ithinikana rigana atia ucio ni umwe ubihevaga oguo one munene ukona ngoro yake ni athuka na hihi ona ningumutaririe ngamwira ndirathie othi kwimwe kana igiri kana ithatu no hariwe uhoro ucio kamurituhira muno na akarira kiriro muno na wondo ucio ugakenduta ati ngwataniro ya mwana wa kairitu na baba ni kwenda kurorwo noriku muno nerorore ya keri tondu ogikorwo niguo ngoro ya mwana wa kairitu ehuana hari ithe ibaba niagiye ni athomithio na amenyithio wega ati itihia riria ngitihia mwana wake wa kairitu ni kwaga gukorwo ho ni itihia ritangihona na ni itihia ritangiihurio ni kindu kingi o giothe na koguo ngeruta nondu ucio muiritu wakwa ngi weti ndariraga no no aigua nĩ ndathiĩ nĩ ngũhũrĩrwo thimũ nginya nĩ nyina ngerwo mwana ũyũ ena behavior itaramenyeka nĩ cia mũthemba ũrĩkũ. No rĩrĩ ũrugũri wa ũndũ ũcio naguo nĩ ũrĩkũ? Mwana ũcio we ndanarĩra na maithori mekuoneka, no nĩ ahatire emotions na ambĩrĩria kũbehave na njĩra itiganĩte, na nyina akona mwana ũyũ nĩ ena kĩagago gĩtaramenyeka. We ndanarĩra maithori, no we reaction ciake ciũkaga na njĩra ĩngĩ. Na kwoguo ngoiga atĩa, rĩu mwana ta ũcio nake ũtanarĩra maithori no nĩ ahatire emotionally, mwana ũcio ũkwenda gwĩciria agatũra atĩa thĩinĩ wa future yake angĩkorwo na baba ũtaramu understand, na baba ũtaramenya kĩrĩa mwana wa mũirĩtu endaga mũtũrĩre-inĩ. Ngakiuga ciugo ici na njĩra nguhĩ, mwana ũcio no atihio na itihia rĩtakahona o tene na tene. Na nĩkĩo twĩ mĩtambo-inĩ nĩgetha twĩrane atĩrĩrĩ, mwana wa kairĩtu nĩ acokererio, ndakaheo tu o gĩthomo gĩkĩ, na ndakaheo tu o mbeca ige mabiacara, no nĩ ambĩrĩrie gwĩcirio na mũtũrĩre wake wa na thĩinĩ. Nĩ tondũ rĩrĩa twaga kũmwĩciria na njĩra ĩyo, kĩrĩa tũrarera harĩ ciana citũ cia airĩtu mũtiũĩ, na kĩrĩa gĩgaciarwo rũciũ nĩ maruo maya na emptiness ici mũtiũĩ. Kwoguo rĩ, tutanakinya kugwa iria-inĩ ithuothe rĩ, nĩ twagĩrĩire nĩ twaranĩrie twĩrane atĩrĩrĩ, mami ũrute harĩa he haku, baba nake oke aihũrie harĩa he hake, nĩgetha tũrute mwana wa mũirĩtu njamba, tũrute mwana wa mũirĩtu mũtongoria, tũrute mwana wa mũirĩtu mũtumia ngatha, tũrute mwana wa mũirĩtu ũngĩendeka na njĩra ciothe. Na kwoguo nĩ ngwenda twanjĩrĩrie kũmenya atĩrĩrĩ, rĩrĩa rĩothe presence ya baba ĩraga he mwana wa mũirĩtu, mwana ũcio akũraga na ihoro ngoro-inĩ, rĩrĩa tũngĩta na gĩthũngũ vacuum. Na vacuum ĩno rĩ, ĩngĩaga kũihũrio rĩ, ĩihũragio na maũndũ marĩa matagĩrĩire. Na ũmũthĩ ũyũ rĩ, I don't know kana nĩ mũĩ, I really don't understand, and I really don't know whether a majority of us know that so many young girls are on drugs. Rĩu rĩ, ndiũĩ kana nĩ mũĩ na ndiũĩ kana nĩ mũramenya atĩ ciana nyingĩ rĩu cia airĩtu rĩ, me thĩinĩ wa drugs na me thĩinĩ wa maũndũ ma ũnyui mũno ona gũkĩra arũme. Na ciana ici ũngĩtuĩria kĩhumo kĩa maũndũ maya nĩ ihoro rĩrĩ ndĩreta, tondũ ihoro rĩrĩ rĩaga kũihũrio nĩ baba, mwana ũcio nĩ agetha kĩndũ gĩa kũrĩihũria, na kĩrĩa gĩkaihũrio ihoro rĩrĩa ti kĩndũ kĩega, nĩ kĩndũ kĩũru mũno gĩkaihũria ihoro rĩrĩa. Na kwoguo nĩ twĩna airĩtu aitũ athaka mũno, nyarari iria ciĩtagwo nyarari, ciragera maruo maritũ mũno, nĩ tondũ rĩrĩa abataragio nĩ baba aihũria ihoro rĩrĩa, baba ndonekire ho. Nĩ kũrĩ nyarari ireka ngero nyingĩ mũno, nĩ tondũ rĩrĩa ihoro rĩrĩa rĩagire mũndũ wa kũihũria, rĩkĩihũrio na bitterness, rĩkĩihũrio na anger, rĩkĩihũrio na drugs, rĩkĩihũrio na maũndũ mangĩ, mwana ũcio ndarĩ ngero atangĩgera, tondũ ihoro rĩrĩa rĩaga kũihũrio nĩ wendo wa baba na rĩaga kũihũrio nĩ kĩrĩra kĩa baba, maũndũ marĩa ihoro rĩrĩa rĩkaihũrio namo nĩ maũndũ maritũ ũrĩa thĩ toĩ, na nĩ maũndũ mekumĩrĩria thĩno bũrũri ũngĩ mũru mũno kana ũtũũro ũngĩ mũru mũno. Ngacaio nĩ mwana wa kairĩtu na ngaigua kĩeha ndaririkana atĩ mũirĩtu wakwa nĩ arĩraga kĩrĩro gĩkanjĩkĩra kĩeha, ngathiĩ ngĩũragia mwana ũyũ ingĩmweherera kũngĩthiĩ atĩa. Na horo wa ma nĩ atĩ nĩ nyonete ũndũ wagarũrie mũtũrĩre wakwa mũno rĩrĩa ndathiaga thabarĩ itiganĩte, nĩ ũndũ wa kuona kĩrĩro kĩa mũirĩtu wakwa kana airĩtu wakwa ngĩkanja maũndũ mamwe mũtũrĩre-inĩ wakwa nĩ ũndũ wa ciana icio ciakwa cia airĩtu. Na nĩ ngwĩhoka atĩ baba o wothe ũrathikĩrĩria nĩ ekũnyihanyihia mĩhang'o, nĩ ekũnyihanyihia thabarĩ nĩ ũndũ wa mwarĩ ũcio ũmũcũthagĩrĩria, nĩ ũndũ wa mwarĩ ũcio ũtiga atigagwo enyitite ruthia aigua baba eguthie mweri mugima atari amuona aigua baba eguthie kiumia kimwe atari amuona aigua baba no athie mwaka mugima atari amuona ndamuthaitha na ndamuthaitha o ringi ati ngero iria turagera mwana wa kairitu no ngero icio nacio turegera o ithuene tondu haria akoimira agere ngero umenye baba ndukahonoka ona maito ndakahonoka na kwoguo ri ni tukwenda twicirie no riku muno uhoro wa mwana wa kairitu na cokererio ogokererwo aheo wendo uria wagiriire kuma hari baba kuri mundu rakiuria atiriri riu nie tondu ndikiri baba ri guguthia atia nikio rona baba mitambo-ini ni tondu mwana ni afamagwo ni andu atatu a biological father kana a substitute father ona kana ngai we no tutanagikinya kwi ngai ri ngai ndagite mundu ungirugama nawe muiritu uyu akunyitirire onginya umire mwena uria ungi gutiagite muru wa nyina na maito guo hihi ungirugama nawe nginya umire mwena uria ungi ngai ndeninagĩra andu aria mangiteithia aria angi na kwoguo we utari baba ri ta nyuma thutha nguteithie mwana wani onginya umire mwena ucio ungi we utari we watiganeirio ni baba ri tareke njaririe baba ongikwaragiria nigetha riri akinya umwire atiri baba he muthuri ugiri atiriri ni harapataritio ni gukoroho gwaku muturire-ini wakwa nigetha ngaimira ndi muiritu mwega na ndi mutumia mwega uria ukeriririo matuko magoka na ningwenda twambe tucoke mwena uria ungi wa studio nigetha tuheo rwimbo rungi na twaheo rwimbo ru ningukuruta hau nigetha ngutware gikiro kingi mwana wa kairitu ndukae kuma mitambo-ini ni tondu mathina maingi hihi mana kuria makuriaga tondu ndumenyaga kiria giekikire no riu ha ningugutaurira kiria giakuriire na kiria gikuriaga na kiria gigukinyitie hau ukinyite nigetha tugerie kuona ka ni tukuogokerera uhoro uyu na ni tukuhonahonia ngoro cia andu aingi na makiria atumia na airitu aria meguthie na mbere magithikagiriria Mataro TV ririkana ati no thiini wa Mataro TV ungiiguira uhoro toyo na kirata giki kiria giteithagia na gikaguna na gigaturia reke tucoke mwena uria ungi wa studio tuheo rwimbo ruru ruraingira mitambo-ini na njira nyoroku teno. Thank you muno dada witu ni undu wa rwimbo rwaku rwega ngai witu akurathime nigwenda twaraniria haha na tondu ningukuonia maundu maya ni ati aria arumia aingi matiui na twi haha ni undu wa mwana wa kairetu ni undu wa andu aria maratu joini umenya ati Mataro TV haha ikiaririria uhoro wa mwana wa kairetu na no muhaka tuoe mwana wa kairetu na iguru o tukioyaga mwana wa kahiri na iguru andu aeri mumenye ati tutigioyo tutigioyo ungi no muhaka eri tuthie tukimoyaga na iguru tutigagithondeke mwena omwe tukimomore uria ungi riu ri hari kindu andu matoi aingi na makiria arume aingi matiwe maundu maya ati mwana wothe wa kairetu tiriri riria riothe ukamwendwa atuike mutumia waku mbere ya maundu maria mangi mothe mwana wa kairetu he maundu meri aturaga ethaga he mundurume namo nimo mariku ethaga ire thiini wa mundurume mbere nene mwana wothe wa kairetu na uria wothe ukoria atuike mutumia waku ataneciria uhoro wa maundu maria mangi mothe thiini wa kihiko kindu kia mbere kiria mwana wa kairetu ethaga he mundurume ni ithe kindu kia mbere kiria mwana wa kairetu ethaga thiini wa mundurume uria ukamuhikia ni ithe undu wa keri ugitiri riu maundu macio meri ni mathinagia mwana wa kairetu o wothe na riria riothe angehikio ni mundurume otoyo uguo mutumia ucio ambagiriria gutarukirwo ni muturire kuma o hau na ni ngwenda heane ngerekano njuge ciugo ici ati kihiko giothe riria wonaga thiini wa kihikori tuonaga atiriri ni ithe wa muiretu woyaga mwari akanengera mwanake uria wathie kumuhikia in other word ni moko ma maithe macenjanagio aimaga guoko-ini gwa ithe mumuciari agagethie hari ithe uyu ungi urathie kumuhikia na koguo mundurume wothe nake urathikiriria tugiteithia mwana wa kairetu wambiririe kumenya kuma umuthi ati mutumia ucio winake gwaku nyumba kiria kia mbere ethaga hariwe ti maundu macio mangi wiciragia kindu kia mbere kiria ethaga thiini waku ni a father figure ethaga baba thiini waku na ngimwaga na manio kuina ni ucangite kani kuri maundu maingi muno mekuhitana. Number 2 ethaga protection tondu mwana wa muiretu na ithe aiguaga secure mwana wa muiretu moko-ini maithe aiguaga secure na hari undu ungi ngwenda kugweta handu haha mwana wothe wa muiretu areretwo ni ithe ndahenagio ni arume na ihenya uguo aria angi mahenagio mwana wa muiretu areretwo wega na akaheo wendo wa ithe ndahenekaga na ihenya ni mabisi ori maria murakiaria thiku ici ruga ya thiku ici ire radio ni .com ndahenekaga na ihenya ni mabisi tondu akompeaga mwanake ucio na ithe akaga handu mwanake ucio muhenania angiukira koguo riria riothe utararira mwana waku baba wa muiretu umenyage uramu expose kuri ahenania kuri kiu andu matuko mareta mabisi arume aria matari mitugo miega arume aria mahuthagira atumia magacoka makama damp ura expose mwana waku kuri arume muthemba tocio no riria riothe warera mwana waku na wamuhe protection na wamuhe wendo ndirenda nguire aruga magatagati-ini karume ta jamba na ari ucamba utangimenyeka tondu niahetwo kindu kiria kiageire gia kumuhe muthingi wa gwituria ni baba na koguo nikyo turoiga atia turoiga mwana wothe wa muiretu ukimuhikia umenyage maundu maya meri atonaiga maundu macio mangi ma kihiko kiria kia mbere mwana wa muiretu ethaga hariwe mundurume uyu ni baba na nĩngũgweta ciugo ici tondũ nĩ njiguaga arũme magĩteta makoiga atĩ wewe wana mũingĩ mũno ta thikĩrĩria wega nĩwe ũtarĩ wamenya gũtirĩ mũtumia kana mũirĩtu ũgimaraga harĩ ithe na nĩkĩo no mũhaka kũrugania kũu rĩ it is natural ti atĩ nĩ ũndũ wa kwĩigĩrĩra it is natural na kĩrĩa arageria gũkwĩra nĩ atĩrĩrĩ I need a father, I need somebody to protect me. Koguo korwo hikĩtie mũtumia na ũrenda aikarage na ũthũngũ wothe nyũmba we ndũrĩ ũremenya na ndũrĩ ũramenya ũrĩa ũreka ũthikĩrĩrie wega mũtumia wothe ndagimaraga harĩ baba nĩ akĩanagia nĩkĩo ndanjĩria na kuga arũme aingĩ maigaga we nĩ ũrakima wana mũno ndũkanacokere ciugo icio mwĩrage ũguo weka nĩguo kwagĩrĩire tondũ you found a father in me. Koguo ũguo areka ũguo ũrona agĩkiania it is the best that she can give, it is the best that she knows how best to do. Rĩu koguo rĩ gũtirĩ mwana wa kairĩtu ũgimaraga harĩ baba aiguaga arĩ o mwana harĩ baba na kuma mũthenya wa ũmũthĩ ũmenyage ũguo na rĩrĩa mũtumia wothe aga mũndũ ũramũtu appreciate rĩrĩa arakiania ũguo ũroiga nĩ araringia wana aiguaga out of praise tondũ nĩendaga kũigua atĩ hamwe na maũndũ marĩa mangĩ mothe she belongs, she is protected. Koguo maũndũ macio ndũkanariganĩrwo na kairĩtu gaka nĩngwenda ũthikĩrĩrie wega mũtumia nĩngwenda ũthikĩrĩrie wega ũngĩkorwo mũthuri waku ndarĩ hakuhĩ rĩu ũrathikĩrĩria rĩ wona oka rĩ mũhingũrĩre maũndũ maya amathikĩrĩrie ndakoiga nĩ ndeto ũrautia na kũu nja aigua rĩ kũrĩ ũndũ ũkũmũtaũka tondũ angĩ matiĩkaga ũguo mekaga nĩ ũndũ wa kũmenya mekaga tondũ nao matiagĩire na mentors akũmamenta kũmenya ũrĩa mwana wa kairĩtu anyitagwo na ũrĩa atongoragio na ũrĩa ekagĩrwo maũndũ na rĩu rĩ ngĩrĩkĩrĩria tondũ ũhoro nĩ hĩndĩ tũrawĩingĩra na nĩtũkũingĩra na ũriku mũnene rĩ ndiũĩ kana nĩ mũĩ rĩrĩa riothe baba ũreherera ũreri wa mwana waku wa kairĩtu andũ acio ona nĩ makoragwo na hinya airĩtu acio atumia acio nĩ makoragwo na hinya mũno nĩ maiguaga ũndũ wĩ hinya no ũndũ ũmarĩaga mũno ihinda iraihu mũno kũgĩa na confidence ya gwĩta Ngai baba niĩ ndiũĩ kana nĩ mũĩ ũguo ati atumia aingĩ arĩa mahatirwo nĩ maithe makĩhatwo emotionally makĩhatwo maũndũ in their feelings nĩ maithe na maithe makĩaga kũrũgama nao kana maithe makĩmaciara na matigana kwa piarĩ ciana icio cia airĩtu acio rĩ nĩ ciguaga ciĩna ũritũ mũno ona gwĩta Ngai baba na nĩ wĩra mũritũ mũno kũrĩ amwe ũrutagwo wa counseling kũmonia atĩ Ngai ũyũ tũreta baba tiwe baba ũrĩa wagũtiganĩirie tũkoragwo na wĩra mũritũ mũno wa kũgeria kũmacokereria na kũmonia atĩ Ngai ũyũ ũreta baba ndahuana ta ũcio wagũtiganĩirie ndahuana ta baba ũcio takũrũmbũirie na koguo nĩ ngwenda ndĩmwĩre ũgwati ũyũ ũkoragwo wĩ wa mĩena yothe ũkoragwo wĩ wa gũkũ thĩ na ũgakorwo wĩ wa na igũrũ na rĩrĩa rĩothe Ngai arona mwana wa mũirĩtu akĩmũthũra na akĩremwo nĩ kũmwĩta baba nĩ ũndũ waku mũthuri ũyũ ũmenyage gũtirathiĩ wega no ũmenyage nĩ harĩ kĩrathimo ũrate tondũ Ngai nĩ aroria ciũria watũma nyararwo nĩ mwana waku wa mũirĩtu nĩkĩ rĩu rĩ nĩkĩ ũgĩtũma Ngai agũcirithie nĩ ũndũ wa gũtiganĩria mawĩra marĩa me maku ma kũrera mwana wa kairĩtu ririkana nĩ Mataro TV harĩa nĩtũkĩte kũteithia na kuoya na kuogokerera na kuoya na igũrũ mwana wa kairĩtu nĩgetha tũmũrute irima rĩrĩa rĩ tũmwambararie na tũmũrehe harĩa hagĩrĩire tondũ twaga gwĩka ũguo kĩbindi kĩrĩa kĩngĩ kĩroka nĩ ngũmuonia kĩrĩa tũrarera na kĩrĩa tũrarera kĩahota gũcina thĩ ĩno kahinda gatarĩ kũraihu kĩrĩa tũrarera kĩahota gũthũkia mũbango wa Ngai ũrĩa warĩho wa kĩhiko tene na tene tiga Ngai okire njĩra ĩrĩa rĩu twerekeire ni njira nyoroku muno ndendero muno na nikyo Mataro TV erutete ni undu wa mioyo mingi nekeruta ni undu wa mwana wa kairetu onginya nake acokio haria hamwagiriire na mbiririe gwimenya na gwitauka na njira njega na agie na haria he hake na haria egukinyira onginya atuike mutumia ngatha. Ningwenda gukwirira ati nituracokereria nigetha tukurute maundu maingi kana ngurute maundu maingi maria megie mwana wa kairetu tondu twaga gwika uguo na aga kuhitirwo haha ndienda ndimwire ngero ira ina guku mbere ni nene uria mutoi. Ngai aroke murathima, Ngai aromuthukira maundu mega. Tugicoka mwena uria ungi wa studio nigetha tuheo rwimbo ruraingira mitambo-ini na njira nyoroku teno. Wow, thanks also very much, Brother Steve, for your good song. May the Lord God bless you. We are happy to have you on board. Once again, this is Mataro TV. coming to you live from our studios. I hope that you're well and the Lord has kept you in good health. It is my pleasure to invite all of us, those that are following through YouTube, WhatsApp, Twitter, and the like. I just want to welcome all of us to let our friends know that we are on air and we are ready to kick off. Yes, I want to take this opportunity once again to welcome on board all of us who love Mataro from our beloved nation, Kenya, from the 4 weeks. Welcome and join us even as we get started. I want to promise all of us that we won't disappoint, we won't frustrate, we will not disappoint you, but we'll give you the best. Be reminded that it is only in Mataro TV where you are trained to understand yourself and to understand how best to use the skills, the abilities, and the talent that God has deposited in you. Yes, today we are back on our very topic, the topic of a call to the hurting man, where we deal with the boy child. And because I know there are so many that are waiting, I want also to extend my invitation to our neighboring countries, to those that are in Tanzania. You are most welcome. Welcome on board. I know if I would be in Tanzania, pengine ningesema hamjambo wa Tanzania. Welcome on board. I just want to also to welcome our brothers and sisters in Uganda, Rwanda, and Burundi, Congo, South Sudan, and the whole of Africa. I know there are also those that are tuned from Arab countries. You are most welcome on board. I want to promise all of us it will be hot today. And prepare yourself with a pen and a book, because I'm going to take you on a journey on how best to understand the boy child and how best to nurture and to raise them to becoming real men. To those of us that are from far countries like USA, Germany, British, China, India, and other parts of the world, you are also welcome on board. This is Mataro TV, and we are very much ready for you, and we also believe you are ready for us. We are going to bring to us the best, and so let those friends of yours know that we are live, and please share that link with as many as possible. And because I know you are preparing for this and for the best that is about to come, let me just switch to the other side of the studio and bring to us a number, even as we prepare and invite many to join, even as we get started together. God bless you as you consider to invite many.
Bwana Mungu, nashangaa kabisa nikifikiri jinsi ulivyo, nyota, ngurumo, vitu vyote pia viubavyo kwa uwezo wako. Roho yangu na ikuimbie jinsi wewe ulivyo kuu. Roho yangu na ikuimbie jinsi wewe ulivyo kuu. Nikitembea pote duniani, tege huu.
Thanks also very much, our brother Apostle John Day, for your good song. May the Lord God bless you. Now, I want to welcome on board every mother, the mother of boys, wherever you are. Just make a point of following the teachings, and I promise you, you'll have something to take to your boys or something to give to your boys. And also want to welcome all fathers on board, because we must raise these boys. We cannot allow ourselves to do away with the mentorship of our boys and the raising up of our boys. I want to welcome all fathers on board. Remember, we are talking about the boy child, and we have learned from the past lessons that a man is composed of 6 pillars, which are namely that he is a leader. A man is a leader. And number 2, a man is a provider. And number 3, a man is a protector. He must be hardworking, a counselor, and a priest in his own capacity. This is where we are going to major on, and we are going to discuss this in length in order for all of us to understand the creation of God in man. Now, today we are in the very 6 stages of leadership, and I believe that you are ready that we get started together. Now, in these very 6 stages of leadership, one must be taught to understand that there is what we call individual leadership. Number 2, one has to be taught on how best to lead their wife. Number 3, we teach also on how best to lead your children. Number 4, we teach you on how to lead yourself in social matters, or the leadership that is contained in social welfare. Now, the other one is the leadership in religious leadership, and the last one is a leadership in your wealth and riches, because these are very crucial stages to every leader. You can be successful in one stage, but if you fail in those other stages, you become a failure and you fail drastically. So we are saying we're going to teach ourselves to understand individual leadership, the leading of the wife, the leading of the children, social leadership or community leadership, religious leadership, and wealth management or wealth leadership. That's where we are. Just to give us some highlight or some review of what happened last time in our program or in our lesson, we discussed about individual leadership, and I remember I started by saying it was the duty of a good and a gracious father to let his son understand how best to choose the good from the evil. And I remember I said that in the whole world the good and the bad, the good and the evil, and it was the duty of every good father to nurture his boy child to understand how best to choose the good from evil. And not only being able to choose, but he would go ahead to remind or to tell his son that it is not just enough to choose good from evil. You must understand that whatever choices that you make in life have consequences. Whether good choices or bad choices, both will bring you some consequences. And so a father would prepare his son to understand that choosing the good must also be guarded. What good choices that you make or you choose, they must be guarded, because many are the enemies that will try to come and rob you of the good that you have chosen. So they must be guarded, they must be protected. And not only being guarded and protected, the father would go ahead and tell his son that whatever good choices that you have made in life, whatever good decision that you are making in life, whatever good choices that you have now must be grown. So a father would tell his son, it is the talk. That is now what you have chosen. You must grow. You must grow such that it may mature and bring forth some good fruit. And I remember also I said that growth is a process, and sometimes it takes longer time than expected, and it is also painful. It was the duty of a good father to prepare his son to understand all that. We also said that whatever must bring forth some good fruits must be protected, because many are the enemies, and every single day a son would be made to understand will come with some new battles. And we said that it was important for a father to let his son understand that every single day will bring some new battles. These battles are not meant to destroy the kid or the child that is being brought up, but they are meant to harden that son to becoming a good leader. So every battle that comes, you destroy you, but to make you a better leader and a strong leader, because leadership requires some strength and some courage. And without such hardships and such battles that come your way, you cannot emerge a good leader. Now, the last part where I remember I concluded, we discovered that there is no leader that does not get angry. So a father would prepare his son to understand that every leader gets angry, along the way, and it is the nature of every man to get angry. So anger will be part of this journey, and so the father would tell his son that the moment they get angry, they must know how best to channel their emotions in the very best in a very constructive way. And so a father would give some advice to his son, reminding the son that when you are not able to channel your emotions in a very constructive way, they become destructive and they bring you a lot of heartache, because it's such when they are not channeled in the right way, they may destroy the best that you have built. They may also bring destruction to others. And so a son was taught on how their emotions in a very constructive way. Today we are going to enter into a very new topic altogether, the topic of the leading of the wife. Now, it was the duty of every good father to raise his son to understand how best to manage his own. It was the duty of every good father to nurture his son to understand how best to handle his marriage and how to offer leadership in his marriage. And so a father would take his son into a lesson, or into a kind of a learning, and he would teach his son to understand the huge difference that is there between individual leadership and the leading of the wife. So a father would prepare his son to understand how best to relate and to cope with his wife, and also how best to handle matters marriage, or matters that concerns marriage. So a father would take a son systematically, allowing him to understand that marriage is not something easy to handle. It is hard to handle marriages, and particularly when you are not trained to understand how best to go about such. And so, because I know you are preparing to learn more, allow me to switch to the other side of the studio and receive a number from the other side of the studio. Then I'll come back and take you to an extra mile concerning this issue of reading of the wife. So welcome and enjoy the song that is coming on air right now, and God bless you.
Gai monene nyige mutugi, Gai kehoti na neore hinya, Niwe wobire dina igoro, Nasionana ya unene waku. Gai monene nyige mutugi, Gai kehoti na neore hinya, Niwe wobire dina igoro, Nasionana ya unene waku. Harewe no kuiga mwihoko, harewe no kwenda kuikara, hautaine cia kude onagire, uthiku ona utugi waku. Niende haraihu, haria odu tetene hanene, haria tera dinowe mwihoko, itari nawe nietige hota, haria nyumete niende.
Thanks also very much, our brother, for your good song. May the Lord God bless you. We are happy to have you on board. Now, we are on this very topic of the leading of the wife. So it was the duty of every good father to advise his son on how to go about it. Yes, it was the duty of every good father to advise his son on how to go about it. It was also the duty of every good father to let his son know that they should not just marry from whatever family they come across, because every family had a history, and not many people sometimes would allow their son just to marry anyhow. They would be guided of their father on how to go and what family to go to if they have to marry and retain or manage a good marriage. So a father would guide his son on that. He would also teach his son the importance of paying the dowry, because that was also very key in most African cultures. It was very key. So a father would train or would make his son understand why it is important to pay dowry, and from there a father would continue teaching his son to understand that there is this huge difference between him and the wife to be. And so a father would help his son understand that his way of doing things is different the way the wife to be would do her own things, and his perception is also different from her perception. His opinions might be different from her opinion, and his way of making decision may sometimes vary from the way her wife to be makes decisions. So these are some of the issues that the father would take his son through, and he would tell his son, my son, when you make a decision to do something, don't ever try to imagine that your wife will be for that decision or for that idea. She may be of different opinion from your decision or from your idea. And please, people don't quarrel because of differences in their opinion, but they try to negotiate their way out and find a point of compromise, that you don't go doing it 100% on your own and the wife go doing it 100% on her own. You come together, you bring your heads together, you reason out together until you find a point of compromise whereby you can agree and forge forward on what you want to do. So a father would also remind his son that it is important to understand that the way you handle yourself is so different from the way the wife handles herself. And so you must also understand that a wife that you're going to get to marry, she is not an angel. She has her own weaknesses. She has her own limitations. So don't expect an angel. And every time a son gets into marriage without such information, without such counsel from the father, that's where the battles begin. And they tear one down. They tear one another down. They destroy one another. And that's why it was important for a father to be there for their son, even to train them to understand how best to lead a wife. So the only challenging part today we have is that today not many fathers have good relationship with their sons. This is so discouraging and frustrating in our present generation, that a majority of sons and fathers are not in good relationship. They are not in good terms. Their relationship is shaky, and so they cannot have time to sit together and discuss. And so I'm calling on all fathers and sons to bring back this father-son relationship, because a son will always mess out, and a son will always destroy himself when he forges out his own way and go doing his own things without the counsel of the father. A father plays such a great role in the life of the child. And do not forget, every young man who is listening to me, never adorate your father. Never overlook your father. Never despise your father. You need him in every step of your life. He has what you do not have, and he can give you what you cannot be given of your age mates. So it is important that you get to understand that father-son relationship is needed. And I know know I'm talking also to some very busy fathers who do not get time for their sons and who do not spare time to share the feelings of their sons. We need to come back to ourselves and ask ourselves the right questions. So if we have to guide our sons on how best to lead their wives, we must create enough time. Our sons must create time for us, and we must also create time for our sons for us to have a smooth landing. And so before I get continued, because I know there are so many people who are joining and who are enjoying the topic of the day, please allow me to switch to the other side of the studio and receive a number, and I promise I'll not frustrate you, I'll not fail you, I'll give you the best. Only continue tuning. Remember, this is Mataro TV, where you are trained to understand yourself and where you are trained on how best to use the skills, the talent, the abilities, and whatever other deposit that God has deposited inside of you. Welcome and enjoy this number.
Unatupenda.
Thanks so very much, Pastor Tabitha. We really enjoyed your song. God bless you. Now, we come back to our very topic, the leading of the wife. Now, a father would tell his son, you must always remember this, that the way I've brought you up is not the way the wife to be is brought up. So, you don't expect her to behave the way you behave. You don't expect her to do things the way you do things. And before you get to a rhyme, there are many things that will crop up. And a lot of fighting will get along with you. Because there are going to be differences for a number of years. So you must expect that when she comes your way, she will behave differently. She will react differently, and she will handle matters differently. When you find such things happening, you don't fight your wife. You give her time to study to understand you better, and you also give yourself time to study to understand her better. And a father would tell his son, such would take a long time, and such requires a lot of patience. Because if you're not patient in such, you may give up along the way. And I don't want you to give up along the way. So a father would tell his son, never be quick in your judgment. Never be quick in condemning. Never be quick in accusing. Because her upbringing is not your upbringing. The way I raised you up is not the way she was raised up. So you need to be tolerant. You have to tolerate her, and you have to give her enough space to understand you, and she must also give you enough space to understand you. So understand her, and as she understands you. Now from there, a father would tell his son. Now these are some of the things that you must keep to remember. That when you were leading yourself, you were a freelance. You could go whatever places that you wish, and you could eat from whatever from whatever hotel you want to go to eat, or you can spend the night wherever you want to spend the night. And the father would tell the son, when she comes, it will not be the same again. Things gonna change. It will not be the same again. Things will change. And the first thing the father would tell his son, he would tell his son that you'll be questioned on where you slept, you spent the night. You'll be questioned on where you ate the last supper. You'll be questioned, about many things. And every man who is listening to me knows that we hate to be questioned. We want to control our own lives. We want to do that which we feel best. Now listen to this, every man, wherever you are, married or not married, when you allow yourself to marry somebody's daughter, be ready for many questions. Some of them may not look straightforward, and some of them may not be so pleasing, but such questions must be given some answers. If you have to grow a healthy marriage, you must be ready to respond to whatever questions that is being asked. And so I'm saying it is our weakness as men. We hate to be questioned. We hate to be asked questions. So this is something that the father would make sure it has sunk into the heart of a son, that whenever he'll be asked a question, he must be ready to respond. Whenever he'll be asked where he spent the night, he'll be able to tell it out. He'll be able to answer to that. So the father was only training his son to understand the importance of discipline in marriage, because if there has to come or if we have to develop a healthy marriage, discipline must be practiced in that marriage. And so a father would tell his son, my son, as much as we do not like to be asked questions, be ready for those questions, because such questions will help you manage your discipline, will help you behave well, and will help you do away with the wrong company. Now another thing a father would tell his son, my son, when you marry that woman, there comes a time when she will conceive. And when she conceives, she will be a different person altogether. She will start to hate you in the morning. She will start to vomit in the morning. She will develop some mood swings. She will develop some annoyances. She will annoy you in the morning. She will annoy you in the noontime. She will annoy you when you are going to bed. But remember this. Every time you see her behave like that, be reminded there is somebody else who is giving pressure in her. So don't beat up your wife. Don't go cursing your wife. Don't go, talking ill of your wife. You must understand that you are getting better and you are getting enriched in your marriage. So bear the pain of getting rich. Bear the pain of getting rich. So when you see your wife behave like that, it is not time to quit that marriage. It is not time to beat her up. It is not time to lock her in the house and you go your way. It is time to understand her. Now, in our generation, in our present generation, how many sons know this? How many sons have the counsel on how best to handle a pregnant wife? On how best to relate with a pregnant wife? A majority of our young people are getting into a mess, and they are getting into a losing battle every other single day. So it was important for a daddy to train his son to understand all this. And a father would not stop there. A father would tell his son, now another thing that I want you to understand is this. When she gives birth, to a baby, now many things will change about her. Now, number one, her figure will change. And I know that men are attracted to many things. There are those of us who are attracted to figures, and those of us who are attracted maybe to the hair, to the looks, and to other features of her body. Now, all such with time may change. A father would advise his son ahead of time. And when such changes, my son, you don't quit your wife. You don't, you don't, hate your wife. Neither do you divorce your wife. You must learn to stay with your wife in good times and in bad times. So when her body changes and her figure changes, she is still the very love of your life, but this time round, because she has given birth to a baby, such things must happen. Please never ever forget that she is the very love of your life, even when many things and many features about her body is changing or are changing. Now, a father would also tell his son, number two, her hobbies will change. She cannot give birth to a baby and remain in her old hobbies. She must change in her hobbies. Her interest also will change. And the father would go ahead and say and tell his son, now he also, his love for you will also change. She'll give attention to the newborn baby. And the father would tell his son, when she gives attention and more attention to the child, please don't fight her, and please don't go for other women. This is the way a marriage goes, or this is the process on how the marriage goes. So you don't have to go and and connect with other women, or hook to other women, or start cohabiting. You need to stick with your wife, even that time when attention has drifted to the child. You must remain with that woman. And now here a father would give a counsel that would last that marriage for life. A father would tell his son, you must understand this, my son, that in the marriage process there are 3 stages that you must undergo. The first stage is falling in love. The second stage is falling out of love. And the third stage is falling back in love. So when your wife starts to give birth to children, now you will fall out of love. Now love will disappear, because her attention will be drawn to the children more than to you. But please be reminded, she is doing all this for your own good. So when she gives her children the love they need, she is trying to build a good family for you. So don't hate her that she is not giving you attention and enough attention. So keep loving her even when she cannot be loved. Keep loving her even when she cannot appreciate her. Now a father would go ahead and tell his son, my son, you must always remember that if you have to maintain this marriage and keep it healthy, there are things that I'm going to teach you. And these things you must keep in your head and also in your heart. That in every marriage, there is what we call good communication. And good communication is the lifeblood of every marriage. And when communication dies, friendship dies. So a father would tell his son, if you want to maintain a good and a healthy marriage, and a marriage that will last, you must never lose sight of good communication. Good communication and good marriage goes hand in hand. And good communication is the lifeblood of every marriage. And when communication dies, now friendship dies with that communication. And so a father would advise his son and tell his son, my son, if you want to live happy, and if you want to live long enough, never allow communication to die in your marriage. Always guard and protect communication in your marriage. And a father would challenge his son and tell his son that it is not that easy to keep communicating. It is a hard thing and a hard practice. You have to practice it day and night, and you need not to tire up practicing communication. You'll bear me witness to those of us that are mothers and fathers that it is not easy to communicate with somebody that you've been together for 20 years. It is not easy to communicate for somebody that you've been in marriage together for 30 or 40 years. It takes God sometimes. It takes the grace of God for people to communicate. And so far, a father would tell his son, never ever allow yourself to communicate with your wife only when you need her, but always keep communication healthy in that marriage. And by so doing, you become a good leader. By so doing, you are building a strong foundation for your family. Now, something else that a father would highlight is friendship. And the father would tell his son, whenever friendship dies, enmity rises up, or enmity emerges. You don't have to call him enmity. Enmity, keeps hanging around. That when friendship dies, enmity crops in, or enmity creeps in. Now, a father would tell his son, be very careful not to allow that enemy in your marriage, because the moment he'll find a loophole in that marriage will be destroyed. That marriage will not survive. That marriage will be a painful marriage. And the father would go ahead and tell his son, there is this good thing with friendship. When you are friends, you have no secrets. But the moment you become enemies, you start keeping secret to yourselves. And many marriages today are only getting destroyed because there are people with their own secrets, and the secrets that they cannot let go. The secrets that they cannot discuss with their partners. Now, whenever marriage allows enmity to come in, now secrets will start to build in people's heart. And secrets are not for friends. Secrets are for enemies. So a father would tell his son, never allow enmity in your marriage, because the moment enmity will find loophole in your marriage, you start to have some secret towards your wife, and your wife will have some secrets towards you. Number two, you'll never enjoy your marriage. You'll continue to endure your marriage to death. Now, a father would tell his son, when enmity creeps into your marriage, now you'll never again enjoy marriage, but you will endure marriage to death. Number three, when enmity creeps in, cooperation will never be found in that marriage again. And you know one thing, when we are friends, we incorporate one another in our doings, or in our projects, in our ideas, in our decision. So when enmity strikes in or creeps in, now cooperation flies away, and there comes division, and there comes people doing their own things their own way. You find that a father in the house has his own projects and businesses of which the wife do not know about. The wife maybe has some businesses and has some properties that the man in the house knows nor about. So nobody incorporates the other in their doings, in their businesses, in their making of decision. And the father would tell the son, when enmity creeps in, now this is something that you must understand, that you never have a healthy conversation anymore. So a father would advise his son and tell his son, if you want to maintain a healthy conversation in your marriage, guard this animal called enmity not to creep in, and many other things a father would take his son through to understand the importance of friendship. Now, maybe to mention but a little bit, now when an enmity creeps in a marriage, a father will tell his son, the way you are enjoying going out for coffee when you are newly married, that thing will be the thing of the past. The way you used to go out for night parties and the like, such will be the things of the past. And so guard your marriage, that communication and good communication will not die. Now, the last part, the father would tell his son, my son, it is also important that you understand this, that whenever you give somebody your time and you listen to them, such things will always develop. Number one, when you listen to somebody, now that somebody knows that you value them. Now, a father would tell his son, when you give your wife time and when the wife gives you time, that means that you value one another. Number two, when you give somebody a listening ear, and you listen to them, even when they are complaining, even when they are angry, you're only telling them, I care for you. So allow yourself enough time with your family, with your wife, because if you do not give them enough time to listen to them, many things will go wrong. Now, number three, now whenever you give somebody a listening ear, you are telling them you care for them and you protect them. They feel they have a sense of protection. They feel protected, because if you can give them a listening ear, that to them means that you are ready also to protect them. And the last one, when you give somebody a listening ear, you are telling them they have a sense of belonging. They belong, and so you kill those many fears that build around. So a son would be advised of his daddy on how best to manage his marriage and to lead his marriage. And I want to allow all of us to understand, if we do it this way, we will not miss the way, but we are going to conquer many mountains that will rise before us, and we are going to level many valleys that are going to form before us. And so I don't want to exhaust everything. I want to keep some for the next lesson, and I know you are enjoying, maybe some are enduring, but I know for sure a majority of us are learning something. And so I want to allow all of us to understand that we are in this process of understanding the 6 steps of leadership, and once we are done with this, I want to promise all of us that we are going to have very strong leaders and very healthy families, and we are going to enjoy ourselves and even enjoy the time that God has given to all of us to live on the service of the earth. God bless you as we meet on that other lesson that is about to come. Let's switch to the other side of the studio and receive another number.
Mwene
Yesu tuondole mbele zako, Yesu tukiomba. Haleluya, wewe unaweza. Tabu na kusumbuka, Yesu tuondole. Tabu na kusumbuka, Yesu tuondole. Tuko mbele zako, Yesu tukiomba. Wewe unaweza. Tuliovunjika moyo kwa mambo tunayapitia, yakawa magumu mno, twaja kwako Yesu. Tuliovunjika moyo kwa mambo tunayapitia, yakawa magumu mno, twaja kwako Yesu. Tabu na kusumbuka, Yesu tuondole. Tabu na kusumbuka, Yesu tuondole. Tuko mbele zako, Yesu tukiomba.
Thank you muno mtume Alexander Jonde ni undu wa rwimbo rwaku rwega, Ngai agikurathime muno. Ni mweke ucio ndenda kuoya nigetha ngunyite ugeni mitambo-ini ya Mataro TV, haria ni unyitagwo ugeni na moko meri na ngoro ihuritwo ni wendo. Ni mwihoko wakwa ati Ngai ni aguikaritie wega na ni akuhete thayo na wega wake ugakuigana, na matha make ni maikarite iguru riaku. Muthenya mwega ucio Ngai atuhete, ni tuguthie na mbere tugikinyukagia maundu-ini matiganite na makiria, kwiruta kumumenya wega mwana wa kairitu na kumugokerera, ni tondu onake ena bata muiganu kana ena gitumi kiiganu gia kuheo moral support na kurerwo wega na kuonererio makinya uria magikinyagwo. Na riu nindiretikia ati ni tondu niwendete Mataro TV, ndukuria irio ici wi wiki, ni uguthie na mbere ukimenyithagia aingi ati twi mitambo-ini. Aria me thiini wa Facebook ni ngukuria na gitio uthio na mbere ugitambagiria andu aingi uhoro ucio, aria ni mari arataku a Facebook. Aria me thiini wa YouTube ona inywe noguo ngumuria na gitio, mutikare irio ici muri inywiki, thii na mbere mukiganaga na ingi aria mari aratanyu thiini wa YouTube. Na no wega muno wakinya ho ugasubscribe, undu ucio ni uri kumenyithagia kaingi ati ria riothe twi mitambo-ini nduriceragirwo. Hamwe noguo ni tukuria aria me thiini wa Twitter, thiini wa Instagram na TikTok, pia ona inywe mwe thiini wa WhatsApp ati tutikare irio ici turi ithwiki. Na koguo riu ni tondu ni njui ni wihaririirie muno nigetha tukinyukie ikinya ria maundu maya meru turambiriirie ma mwana wa kairitu, ni ngwenda nguhe kamweke nigetha ugiethe ibuku na wethe karamu nigetha twambanirie nawe ikinya gwa ikinya. Na hindi yo tugika uguo ni tuguthie mwena uria ungi wa studio nigetha tuheo rwimbo na njira nguhi, na ngicoke njokerie mitambo-ini nigetha ngukinyukithie. Rekei tuigue rwimbo ruru ruraingira mitambo-ini na njira nyoroku teno.
Ijaria kinyare jesore kwa video agethie ngethisemane marena ndutu wake athiriire kuhoya arena ruoroike ererio gikombe keke ahoire ni hetie arena ruoroike agetha ithaga Ngai wendo wake wikike. magĩitĩka makĩmwĩkĩra hinya
Thank you muno Pastor Jedida ni undu wa rwiboro wa kuruega ngai agikurathime na gwike maundu mega mautugi riu hamwe na kukunyitoge niwe wingirite riu mitambo-ini ni tukwenda tunyite andu kuma mena na mwena ugeni aria mena yothe ya bururi haria bururi witu wa Kenya na haria ruthiomi ruraiguikana rukamenyeka. Karibu sana thiini wa mitambo na riu ningihoka ati aria me thiini wa bururi wa Tanzania aria maigua rũthiomi rũu onao nimekwa ihinda riu nigetha manyitane na ithuĩ thiini wa mitambo aria me mwena wa Uganda, kuria Congo, South Sudan, Rwanda, Burundi na kuria kungi inyuothe ni munyititwo geni mitambo-ini ya Mataro TV. Na riu nituguthie na mbere tugikiambagiriria na haria turatigireire ni turaigire ati mwana wa kairetu onake ni kwenda kurumbuyo muno ni undu riria twaga kumurumbuya maundu maingi ni mahitanaga ona muturire wake ukagia na mawonje matiganite. Na riu turaririe maruta ma turoiga ati baba ni aprayaga role nene muno uhoro-ini wa kuhotithia mwana wa muiretu kwimenya uhoro-ini wa identity yake kana kwimenya wega ta mwana wa muiretu kana ta mutumia. Na riria riothe baba areherera ureri wa mwana wa muiretu maundu maingi ni mahengecanaga na muiretu ucio agakorwo na mawonje matiganite na maria maikaraga makimuthinagia. Na nituraheanire ngerekano cia mithembe tiganite na umuthi ndira twambiririe riu haria turatigireire turaririe turoiga ati mutumia wothe kana muiretu wothe ukuhikira mundurume kindu kiria kia mbere ya bag wetha thiini wa mundurume ucio ni baba na namba igiri ethaga thiini wa mundurume ucio mundu ungimugitira maya mangi mokaga me secondary no maundu maria mamba kumakia mutumia wothe kana muiretu wothe ohikaga ni kana ni kuona baba thiini wa mundu ucio. Na turaheana ngerekano turoiga ona kihiko-ini ni hari maundu maratwithutaga namo ati ni baba utwaragira mwana kiro rahike muiretu wake muiretu koguo guoko kwa baba ukanengera baba uyu ungi muiretu koguo ni hari maundu matangigaruruka na riria twaga kumatauka wega maundu maingi ni mahengecanaga. Riu twenda turania atiriri guthiaga atia na mbere riria mwana wa muiretu akura atari na baba kana riria baba atiganiria mwana wa muiretu na kaga kumuhe mahinda maiganu na kaga kumuhe attention iria yagiriire mwana ucio akuraga ena bitterness na agakorwo arakarite marakara matoneka ihinda riri no marakara macio mathia magiyumbaga o ikinya gwa ikinya oria arathia agikuraga. Na ni ugwitikania na nie ati atumia ingi muno mangiaria wega warume atumia ingi makoragwo me bita na arume no andu ingi matire magĩa na ihinda rĩa kwĩyũria atĩrĩrĩ nĩkĩ gĩtũmaga atumia aingi makorwo me bita na arume thĩna ũcio ndũkoragwo wambĩrĩirie hau ũgima-inĩ wao kana ũtumia-inĩ wao thĩna ũcio ũkoragwo umĩte kũraihu mũno na umaga o harĩa harĩa ũrereri-inĩ wa mwana wa kairĩtu rĩrĩa rĩothe mwana wa kairĩtu ithe abandon kana amutiganĩria mwana ũcio ambagia kũgĩa na bitterness kahora ũndũ ũcio keruga na nĩagĩaga na ũhoro ona wa gũthũra arume akaiguaga nĩamenete arume na kĩanjo gĩake gĩa gũthũra arume ti atĩ arĩa akorwo nao na kũrĩa kamamenya mũno amathũraga nĩ tondũ onaga ithe nĩamũtiganĩire na ithe ndamwendete na nĩamũthũire koguo akagĩa na maũndũ merĩ mamũthĩnagia mũno agatuĩka bitter with men na akamena arume akanjĩrĩria kũigua ngoro yake ndĩendete arume na ngoro yake ĩna bitterness na arume maũndũ macio maimanaga rĩrĩa rĩothe mwana wa kairĩtu atiganĩrio nĩ baba na njokere ciugo ndiragwetete ngoiga atĩa atĩ gũtirĩ ngoro ya mwana wa mũirĩtu ĩgũaga mwena wa baba mũno gũkĩra ũrĩa ĩgũaga mwena wa nyina kana ngoro ya mwana wa mũirĩtu nĩendaga baba mũno gũkĩra ũrĩa yendaga nyina na arĩa marathikĩrĩria na arĩa makoretwo magĩtũboro maũndũ-inĩ maya nĩ ũgwĩtĩkania nani atĩ ona rĩmwe mwana wa mũirĩtu nĩ maikanagia igũrũ na nyina na agacoka akorĩra harĩ ithe maũndũ macio nĩ monekaga tondũ nĩ aiguaga secure mũno harĩ ithe ona rĩngĩ gũkĩra harĩ nyina na mũndũrũme wothe nĩ agĩrĩire nĩ gũkorwo akĩmenya ũguo nĩgetha he mwana ũcio protection na mũhe wendo ũrĩa wagĩrĩire nĩgetha ahote kũmũnacha wega na kũmũmenta akoimĩra mũtumia wa kwendeka na mũtumia ngatha na mũtumia mũtongoria mwega koguo haha no mũhaka tũikare twĩmenyereire mũno na baba wothe ũrathikĩrĩria no mũhaka haha akorwo amenyete mũno ona ningĩ no kũrĩ atumia aingĩ mũno matarĩ mamenya nĩ gĩtũmaga maigua mamenete arume na makaigua mena bitterness na arume nikio ndĩ mĩtambo-inĩ Mataro TV nĩgetha ngũteithie mũirĩtu we wĩiguaga ũmenete arume no kaigua wĩna marakara nao ndagũthaitha thĩna ndwambĩrĩirie ona angĩ matiĩmenyaga makoraga ũguo nĩguo makũrire mũtũrĩre ũgĩtũrwo no thĩna ũcio ndwambĩrĩirie na haha mĩaka ĩrĩ ĩtatũ thĩna ũcio wambagĩrĩria kuma harĩa kĩhumo ũhoro-inĩ wa kũrerwo koguo rĩrĩa rĩothe ũrĩkũiguaga ũkĩrakarĩra arume no kaigua ũkĩmamenania ũmenyage thĩna ti arume acio ũramenania thĩna wambĩrĩirie rĩrĩa baba ehereire wĩra ũrĩa wagĩrĩire harĩa hangĩaihũrirwo nĩ wendo wa baba na harĩa hangĩaihũrirwo nĩ gũkorwo ho kwa baba hakĩihũrwo nĩ maũndũ mangĩ na koguo mahinda maingĩ nĩ ũkũigua rĩrĩa atumia marĩ hamwe marĩ aiki matiaragia wega wa arume na ndirĩ na thĩna na atumia tondũ atĩ wĩ mũrwaru na wĩtĩkĩre wĩ mũrwaru nĩgetha ũhone atumia rĩrĩa marĩ aiki hamwe matiaragia wega mũno wa arume na amwe nĩ maragia mena marũrũ maingĩ mũno na arume na ũkoragia atĩ ũyũ nĩ arĩinũkĩra mũrũme hihi kaĩ gwake gũikaragwo atĩa no akinya tondũ atumia nao marĩ o kĩũgĩ kĩao kĩa mũthemba rĩ nĩ egũka na atue nĩ mũndũ mwega na nĩ mũratheka no rĩrĩa magĩcemania marĩ iki rĩ maruo marĩa makambĩrĩria gũtherũka ũgakĩigua ũyũ aigũ ũyũ ũngĩ nake akũigũ ũyũ ũngĩ nake akũigũ cia arume na mũico ũhoro wa kũigua moiga atĩ ici nĩ nyamu rĩu rĩ maũndũ macio ciugo icio waigua igĩtwo arume rĩ nĩ bitterness na nĩ hatred yumanaga na baba rĩrĩa ehera mwana wake wa mũirĩtu koguo baba angĩehera mwana wake wa mũirĩtu ciugo icio ndũgaciaga na nĩkĩo ũkũigua ningĩ makinya handũ hangĩ atumia makoiga atĩrĩ na mũthikĩrĩrie wega atumia ndĩrenda kũmuonia kũrĩa maũru maya maimire na kũrĩa mĩrimũ ĩno yaimire makoiga atĩrĩ arumi othe nĩ mahanaine atire mwega na ni ciugo icio ri na nima uraria tondu wi murwaru na uraria tondu ndui kihumo kia maundu maya na ni kiorona Mataro TV twi haha nigetha tuthondeke kairetu gaitu tuthondeke mutumia uria atie kurio ni bitterness muretie kavuri-ini atie kurio ni ruthuro rumuretie kavuri-ini tucokereria andu na mucii na nigetha riri twambiririo na ithuĩ kimwira atiri turekerei haria baba tutamenyire haria baba atamenyire uguo niguo kugai tondu riri ona arume acio angi mureta baba ari ai ona o mamenyete atia maundu maya ongikorwo ndatarirwo ni itheri na ndamenyithirio ni ithe uria mwana wa muiritu areragwo na uria akinyukithagio ri na atirithagio muturire-ini ri angiagikiri atia nikio turoiga maundu ni maritu muno na maundu maingi ni mahingicanite no tondu Mataro TV Ngai ni amiukiritie nigetha yukirie ngoro cia andu aingi neteithie ngoro cia andu aingi tua mitambo ino mitambo yaku na ni ukuma maonja-ini maingi muno na mirimu mingi murwarite atumia na murwarite ni undu wa gwiciria rumeri ndamuthaitha mirimu ona ndiagia ni ukorwo wekirwarwo tondu wamenya maundu maya na wambiriria riu kurekia uru ucio na kurekanira na kuga alio Peter Sidwele jameni wambiririe riu gutura kuringana kira giki ndirathi gikuheaga ri ndirenda ngwire thino ni guturika na kihiko giaku ni gikwambiria guturika na ndiroigiria ati okorwo rathikiria muthuri waku atari hau ri make sure ni wathie okari umutware either YouTube kana umutware Facebook-ini muthikiririe mwi hamwe nake maundu maya tondu onake kwi maundu aguthoma maria ni mekumuteithia kugarurira na nigetha ahote gwika wega ona ahote kurera ari yake wega matigakigere ruo-ini ruogerete twambe tucoke mwena uria ungi wa studio nigetha tuheo rwimbo na twarikia kuheo rwimbo no gucoka ringi na ni ngwihoka tutikumena tugutirithania nginya tumire weru uyu na tugutirithania nginya maundu maya maturite matweherere o nginya tugie na kirugamo kiega tuigue rwimbo ruraingira mitambo-ini na njira nyoroku teno
Dadia mokera Ogosi geteo nari Nesia kuwe
Ananine uduteta werine haraihuma Nasothereria na thutha ndirona ni haraihu Na maria mothe nyonete werine ni maritu No ni tondu wari nani baba ndiahotekire Amukira tata baba na wamukira masiwo Rekageria migwe mioru ya menere Wanayaikyo engeteire na toro itakumira Kapande wamenitana nongane yote
Amokera Ogasi wade Amokera
Kukikinya ni mathina ni ninyon
thengi muno dada witu ni rwimbo rwega ru Ngai agikurathime muno haha ri turi o haha tuma na mbewe ngiwagie ni kumenya ni atiriri mwana wothe wa kairitu ni ahataga emotionally kana atihagio mawigwi-ini make riria riothe ataraheo wendo ni ithe uria wagiriire na uririkane ni ndiragwetire mahinda mahituku ndiroiga atiriri ona atumia aingi aria marerirwo ni maithe ni absentee fathers kana muda magiciarwo ni maithe na makieherera ni maiguaga ruo muno na makaremagwo ni gwitona Ngai baba tondu maririkana kiugo baba maiguaga kia macokia thi ocuba gitina ona umiru wa gwita Ngai baba ukagaho na kaiguaga ndagita mundu baba na uria baba uria wanjiarire niguo anjikire kana niguo andiganirie ni tugeragia thiini wa counseling ni tukoragwo namwe matugiaga muno makiremwo na ni gwita Ngai baba tondu compare baba na baba akaigua ngai ucio ni aikare kando okorwo nake ni baba ungeje katoria uria njikire riu ri ukaigua mundu ona ni araremwo ni kugia na umiru wa gwita ngai baba undu ti muhuthu uri andu mareciria ni undu muritu muno na ni ho turahaturehe handu haha ati mwana wa kairetu ni ahataga emotionally kana ni agiaga na ironda thĩinĩ wa mawĩigwi make na ironda icio ni njuru muno ndenda ndimwire gutire mundu vulnerable ta mutumia wothe urahat emotionally mutumia ucio no akorwe na indo nyingi na makari manene no ngikorwo ni arahat emotionally mutumia ucio ni vulnerable maundu-ini maingi muno no agerie gwikinya muno ndio ndirakirega oguo no agerie kwiyumiria muno no horo wa mani atiri there is a soft ground in her ikoragwo so soft ne muriragia muno ne gatuma ashakayage thiini wake muno na kwoguo ri riria riothe mwana wa kairetu ataraheo mwendo muiganu ni ithe na ataraheo attention ni njiganu ni ithe mwana ucio ahataga emotionally na riria ahat emotionally troiga atuikaga vulnerable na nikio wonaga mahinda mamwe ona maundu mangi ni magegagia mundu ukarora muiretu kirorerwa na muiretu umite family na igweta agathi akenyitira ikanga kana kenyitira kimundu kia drugs ukoria giatiri ni nurarogire muiretu tikorogwe muroge mwana wothe wa muiretu utahunirio wendo neithe na utaheirwo protection neithe yagirire na attention ni yagirire mwana ucio akoraga akihataga thiini wa emotions yake na akoragwo vulnerable kwoguo angiona mundu urape attention kuriwe kana uramuhe ukikiande gia kurira ndenda kumenya kana wa drugs ndenda kumenya kana wa nugu ndendaga kumenya background ya mundu ucio mwana ucio no athie na njira o yothe acoka akuria raisi ni aingirire irima na ni aingirire mutino-ini when it is too late na uguo niguo twagiye ni gukorwo tukimenya ati ni kuri atumia aingi muno umuthi marasava maundu matiganite ni tondu akurire akihataga emotionally ona decision ire ya make ya ukorwo kihiko-ini it was a long decision I make a decision out of the pain out of the heart na ake make decision hihi tamwagirire ni atia tugugika nikyo baba mitambo-ini nigetha rere kairetu karia akere atiriri nduonire baba wa gukurera ni hari baba uragukinyukithia na baba urakuria ati no one handu ngoro-ini yaku urekere baba ucio wagutiganirie no rekere baba ucio utakuheire wendo muiganu na wambiririe afresh na wambiririe a new journey tondu riria uikarite oguo ti kuhona urahona na ti kwagira kuragira you are becoming more bitter na nikyo mitambo ya Mataro TV iroya ihinda nigetha icokereria mwana wa kairetu na mbiririe kwimenya na mbiririe kwitikira netikire ati maria mekikite ni mekikite no ambiririe kuma umuthi ambiririe kuona muturire na njira njeru amenye uria kwambiria kudiru na emotions yake nicio ciahatire amenye uria kwambiria kudeal na hatred amenye uria kwambiria kudeal na pain iyo ethiaga emuriaga ambirie kumenya uria akudeal na unforgiveness tondu ciana nyingi cia iretu riria maithe macio magire gucia attention na magitiganiria ci develop kindu kingi gitagwo unforgiveness na witikanie na nie kanorege atumia aingi ni makoragwo umaremetwo muno ni kurekera arume no marekere maundu maya mangi no ni kuri atumia maremagwo kaimana kurekera mundurume anyitithania ruo rwa ithe na ruo ria riu nake me nake akare muni kumurekera na wamwira murekere ariraga na kigi ariraga aimagwo ni ngoro aremetwo ni kumurekera riu tweha mitambo ino turani atiri kaire tugega tiga abiriria kuhona abiriria kurekia unforgiveness tondu omundu ucio no ukorwo ona kendari no menyo na riria riothe ngoretwo ngirutana ndiroigire atiriri ngirutana ati twero ciaro rwa kana rwa men matari mentored ugwiciria tugikinya ruciaro rwa kana rwa men matari mentored ri atumia nao meru ciaro rwa kana maturetio na njira igana atia tondu ciathua ndongoria ri itigikinyagira nyeki koguo ruo ruria rwikuone runene bweria bururi-ini na mabũrũri-ini ni nene muno na no muhaka kigie mundu gukiuga atiriri riu ri ciaigana ni ciaigana tutingithie na njira ino no muhaka riu tumenye uria tuguthondeka maundu na tugie na njira ya riumiriro tondu tutingitura o mutito turire mutito gatagati no muhaka twethe njira ya riumiriro riu ri riria riothe mwana wa muiretu akura na njira iyo ri akura akihataga emotionally akura akiremagwo ni kurekanira tondu ri when you hurt emotionally undu uria ungi ukuria muno pain iyo yathie na mbere udevelopaga a defense mechanism no kagia na kindu kitweta unforgiveness kuremwo ni kurekera no gathondeka ruthingo thiini wa ngoro yaku ruta penetrate kaga na nikio rona maundu maingi marekikana mangi me magigi tondu mundu ucio aturage na bitterness mundu ucio aturaga aremetwo ni kurekanira na mwisho wa uhoro maundu macio ni maimagiriria andu maundu-ini marito muno uria ndirenda kugweta haha ni kwaga gukenia no nio maya uhoro mwana uyu ni agire kuheo attention ni ithe acoke ahikio ni mundu ungi nake utatarirwo ni ithe no toy kuhe mutumia wake attention riu ri mutumia oka na murimu okongerwo murimu ungi atumia aingĩ riu turaria mitambo-ini ya Mataro TV percent yao neneri mena depression irethugunda thiini wao nangĩ already me thiini wa depression tondu niki riu ri thiini wa depression ri maundu maya matatu ni makoragwo ho riu undu wa mbere mundu ambaga gutuika kugia na marakara ukagia na anga igaciara kindu gitagwo bitterness nayo bitterness ri igaciara kindu gitagwo revenge ungiona mundu akua maundu macio matatu thiini wake the end result ni depression na koguo ri ni atumia aingi muno maroneka magithie na farafara but they are already depressed ni kuri atumia aingi muno memeci but they are already depressed tondu ahatirwo na gukiaga mundu wa kuohania ironda iria na gukiaga mundu wa kumuhe mahinda kumuthikiriria kana kumenya kiria kiramuria na keingira riu hihi kihiko-ini kana hihi ni muiretu mugima urorete kihiko-ini no ndari acemania na baba wa kumumenyithia na kumutaurira ukiria kiramuria nikio urona Mataro TV ni turoya makahinda kaiganu nigetha tugutariria maundu maya umamenye tondu wa mamenya ari wahata kwambiria kugia na kihonia na riu koguo ri riria muiretu uyu kana muiretu mugima kana mutumia uyu ri muhikuri athire na rugendo ru rutari mundu ruhonagia kana gutari mundu mwiciragia angihona atia ri niho twakiuga atiriri riria atirigirwo thiini wa kihiko akigia na akiambiria na marakara anga agithio na mbere agitihangagio na nurika ni ari mutihia emotionally akagia na kindu gitagwo bitterness oi agithio na mbere o akigiaga na bitterness agiciara kindu gitagwo revenge nayo revenge riu niwe mumiriirie thiini wa depression ni nyingi ciina atumia ciumite kuraihu muno itiumite haha uga andu meciragia ni undu ukoragwo umite kuraihu muno nuri andu matoi umaga o haria ureri-ini haria muiretu mwana wa muiretu aga kuheo ngoro ya ithe kana aga kuheo wendo wa ithe uria kwagirire na aga kugitirwo ni ithe uria kwagirire na ngwenda kugweta ha ndigakigwete o mauru matheri ngiugia atiriri gutire mundu ningi njamba na gutire mundu wikirugamo ta muiritu uhetwo ngoro ya ithe akaheo wendo ni ithe na akaheo ugitiri ni ithe na akaheagwo attention ni ithe ndia ndimwire ucio no ahure gicagi kigima na no ahure gicagi kigima kenine na ndari mundu ungi muinainia makoragwo no shamba na makoragwo na matua marumu uri otari wona no nduria erekera gwika ndungi mweheria tondu aiguaga thiini wake mugambo wa ithe ukimwira mwari wakwa ndi haha ni undu waku ningwendete na niwe ningugitagira mwana ucio ndari kirima atangiambata na ndari mukuru atangiikuruka na kihiko giake akirugamia uguo arugama gatarume atatu hamwe riu ri ndienda kuga ati tu mwafa ungimenya kiria gikorwo kihithitwo ngoro-ini ya mwana ugithondeke mwana wa muiritu ndienda ngwire wathondekera mundurume kana muthuri uria ukamuhikia mutumia ngatha mutumia njamba mutumia mutongoria na mucio cio ndukagwa na mucio cio ndugathinwo mucio cio ni ukarugama na wihande no thie na mbere na muthikiririe wega moigaga atia aria mathomaga behind every successful man there is a woman. Behind every successful man there is a woman. Uguo niguo ndenda gugutaurira ngwire mwana wa kairitu angiheo ngoro ya ithe na aheo rwendo rwa ithe na lerwo na kuonererio na kuheo kiria kimwagirire ndenda ngwire mundu uria ukanyitana muiritu ucio onokorwo kwao ni gathina ni agatonga mundurume uria ukanyitana muiritu ucio onokorwo kwao nikuo morereirio mauru mothe na mathina mothe ndirenda ngwire mutumia ucio ni agatuma kwanyu kumwo ni mbea na nikio twi haha tukirana mitambo-ini ati mwana wa muiritu angiheo wendo ni ithe tuhonaga kundu kuingi muno na akahonia kundu kuingi na maundu maingi muno magathakara na makarungara na Kenya mbenjoke mwena uria ungi wa studio nigetha ningi uheo rwimbo rwa ukihoreria ngoro o kamwira ngugicoka nigetha ngutware ikinya ringi na ikinya ukwendwo umenye uria rituragwo amukira rwimbo ruroka mitambo-ini na njira nyoroku teno. Thank you muno dada witu ni rwimbo rwaku rwega Ngai witu akurathime ndenda turanie kiuria haha ndiui ka ni muwi haria theri wirorete twina kindu kiretwo independent women atumia matarenda guthinio marenda guikara muturire wao in an independent way marenda okorwo ni mwana aciarirwo mwana no ndukamubuthe ndukamuhikie arenda maundu maingi arenda guikara an independent life na they are so independent na so self-sufficient na matienda kuhutio riu ri andu matire maramenya atiriri kiundu giki kiumite ku na kierekeire ku ni noria twinaguo ni atiriri riria riothe mwana wa muiritu arathio na mbere kurwara na ndararumbuyo na uthikiririe wega I stand a better position kwariria mwana wa kairetu kuma mundu ucio uraigua ngiaria undu ngiario ni nyina mwana wa kairetu ndangenyita ciugo ici ciuma hari nyina no anyite wega muno tondu ireima kanwa-ini ka baba no anyite na no understand ciugo ici riu wega muno gukira ekirwo ni nyina tondu iroima kanwa-ini ka baba. Riu thikiriria wega riria riothe tutaramakio ni uria mwana wa muiretu ararerwo ni baba ri haria twerekeire handu horu muno tondu atumia aria riu generation ni ri eguka twaga kumehita na twaga kuhita undu uyu gugukorwo na atumia so independent na ihiko ni iguthira. Jokere ringi ndukona atumia so independent na ihiko ni kinya handu ithire na iriganire na andu mata kuna tari undu ndiroiga tari undu tagikinyirika. But do your own research today. Umuthi uyu twina atumia marathura no ukunjiarira mwana, the rest is history. Agathura mbegu ya mwana ekumaku not yo muhikie tio mutwe mutumia asha. They want to live their lives independently. No maundu maya andu matire yuri atiri moimireku maciarirwo niki maundu maya ni the end result ya mwana wa muiretu kurerwo ni kwaga mureri kwaga baba wa kumurera agatura na maturio na kiagaciara ciana ciuritwo ni maturo tondu riri na rihani wega twaranirie na atumia ni njui ni muyu mwana angirejectwo endari aima aciaragwo ena rejection. Koguo ri ugikorwo wi bita na mundurumeri ugaciara kairitu ke bita kana bitterness ya rume ugikorwo mwana ni aciaragwo na rejection kuma ndari tari muthuri angiaga kuiyukia mwana enda ya nyina amureject enda ya nyina no matter what mwana ucio agaciarwo ena rejection na undu ucio ni njui ni muwi na nikio mwonaga ciana imwe ciekiriro gitathiraga tondu aimie na roho wa rejection thiini wanda. Riu ri tugiuke haha, that was an example of what I want to to talk to us. Riu ri tugiuke haha ongikorwo mwana wa muiretu dareirwo ni ithe na daheirwo kiria kiagie ni ithe agituika bita akigia na anga akigia na revenge ni ahikira mundu kironda kiria giathio na mbere guthea uthikiririe wega kairitu kario gaciara ri ugatambio ndu ucio ugatambirie na kori ni gagagiciara kairitu na ko kairitu kau ri gatambirio uru uria niho ndiroiga atiriri haria twerekeire ri twaga kuhita nyamu ino ri na twaga kuhita uru uyu ri. There come a time riria atumia makoiga enough is enough na tutikwenda kuhikio ni arume no ni turi thuraga kuno gutuciarira mwana no beyond that. Riuri no muririkanage kihiko kia undainirwo ni Ngai okuma haria kiambiriria kugo tutingithukia mubango wa Ngai. Kiria Ngai acuthireirie ri ni mugambo ukwanirira thi haria hothe aruma ucokie oda iria yagiriire aria matonire baba ri mambiririe kurerwo na maundu ta maya ndiraria ambiririe guthikiria ciugo ici ambiririe kumenya atiriri it's not all lost. Maundu mothe matiurite he handu ungirererwo tondu mwana no arerwo ni andu atatu a magegania kana andu eria magegania a biological father or a substitute father na mwamuthia ni Ngai no tutanagikinya kwi Ngai ri nikiorona Mataro TV baba haria Mataro ine TV nigetha akwaririe mutumio wina ruo runene o akwaririe we muiritu wina ruo runene o ni undu wa kwaga kuona ungiaturagoragia where is my daddy baba ariko tondu ugini aciarirwo ni a careless father na ithe agithira riu aturaga oragia nari korwo ndamumenya nari korwo ndamenya ni muraihu kana ni muiru kana atari maundu macio mathikiririe muno koguo ri twaga kuhita undu uyu ri kiria haria twerekeire tukugia na independent women matakenda undu wa arume na matakenda story cia arume na makahinga chapter na mumenye mambiriria hau magaciara twana twa tuiritu na tuo independent turu natuo tutugakorwo twi turu ningi gukira amanyina na nikio twenda tuhite undu uyu nigetha tucokie order ya Ngai uria yagiriire na nigetha tuhonie micii tuhonie ciana citu na tuhonie bururi na tuhonie mabururi na tondu ndirenda gukuhe irio iguguthebia ri ni ngwenda ngutware o kahora tugariure maundu maya twi hamwe o nginya tuone riumiro na ni ngwihoka ati mwana wa kairitu ni egucokereria rera ni mwiri atiriri githomo he haria he party ria playaga na baba he party ria playaga unona tungithomithia mwana uyu na tucoke tumuhe mbeca ciothe ke mabiashara kwi handu tutangithondeka na githomo na kwi handu tutangithondeka na mbeca na mabiashara hau hathondekagwo ni muciari uretwo baba na nikiorona Mataro TV ni rutire irehe kiria baba ataheanire baba heane nigetha wonje tuthie tukiweheragia na tuthondeke kindu kina nyitiro njega na kina riumiro riega na to no gucoka mitambo-ini ni undu wa horo uyu ri ni nguguthaitha muno mutumia we oranyuma thutha muiretu we oranyuma thutha uthie na mbere ukiraga atumia na iretu aitu atiri Mataro TV ni kunurite undu utaiguikite matuko maingi undu utarumbuagio undu umugeni muno no ni kihonia kia ngoro nyingi tuthi mwena uria ungi wa studio nigetha twamukire rwimbo ruru ruingira mitambo-ini na njira nyoroku teno.
Maishani mwangu shukrani ni kwako.